James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed, the James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies for discerning drinkers the world over. Visit us at playradiouk.com and discover the pure spirit of legend.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Time for us to kick off Talk Radio here at Play Radio UK and the James Whale Radio Show. Don't forget, this Wednesday and Thursday, Mr. Mendoza joins Play Radio, and he'll be chatting to you in that Mendoza-ish way that only he can do. I'm saying no more. But tonight, Whale's on, and of course tomorrow night from now until midnight, so it'd be good to get more listeners, of course, all the time. The way you listen to us, you just log on to Play Radio UK. As you know, all those of you who have logged on to my website, jameswhaleradio.com, you can hear the program. That's all you have to do. If you've got the little widget stuck in the side of your laptop, you can hear us live there as well, or you can stick one on the end of your mobile phone, and you can hear us in the car. If you're really smart, you're listening on Wi-Fi radio. Wi-Fi radios now available in shops all over the world. So anyway, listen, tonight, good news, the fuel price is coming down. Bad news, the world could be thrust into a major conflict. Good news, we won a gold medal at the Olympic Games. Bad news, we've got to host the flipping games in 2012. Okay, so there we are. This is the James Whale Radio Show. We're talking all the way till midnight. But I'm going to play some music right away, I think. Yeah, can I do that, mate? Yes, I probably can, can't I? In tribute to, I think, one of the legends of music. In fact, I even talked to the phone Führer, who's answering the phones tonight, who'd never heard of Isaac Hayes. Well, I think that's a sad indictment on a lot of young people's music today, but of course Isaac Hayes and his music, when I started out as a disc jockey in the late 60s, early 70s, I think 71, was when Shaft, the theme from Shaft, was a hit. In fact, it was 1971 when Isaac Hayes won his Oscar. Of course, he's better known to a whole new generation as the chef in that, what's that called? South Park. Yeah, because I don't know that, so why should they know Isaac Hayes? You know, South Park. I mean, what's that to me? I don't know South Park. Yeah. But for those of you who never, ever heard, I thought we would share a little bit of time. Think about Isaac Hayes. For me, it was in all the discos of the time. For me, you couldn't go into a nightclub without hearing this record, and it just brings back a flood of memories of the early 70s. Mr. Isaac Hayes and the theme from Shaft.
Can you dig it? Who's the cat that won't cop out when there's danger all about? Right on. You see, this cat Chef is a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
What I'm talking about, Chef?
We can do it.
He's a complicated man, but no one understands him but his woman.
John Shack.
Isaac Hayes, the theme from Shaft. Sadly, Isaac Hayes departed this world for pastures new today, 65 years old, quite young. So I hope you enjoyed that. Isaac Hayes. And David Green sent me an email straight away. He said, I woke up this morning in a really good mood, which is unusual for Monday, being the first day back at work, only for the smile to be wiped off my face almost immediately when I switched on the television and heard the terrible news that Isaac Hayes had passed away. I thought this guy was up there with the best in soul. What do you think? Did you ever meet him or interview him? Sadly, I didn't. I thought he had the perfect voice for soul music. Everybody will remember him from the theme from Shaft, but I best remember him for a cover of Walk On By, the full 12-minute version from the album Hot Buttered Soul from 1969. I remember that, David, as well. I don't think we've got that in our vast record library here. I wouldn't think we have if it was a great record. I can remember putting Smoochy Dancing in the discos, 1969 when I started off, 68 I started. And you could put that on, you go for a pee, you go and shut up a girl, you go and have a drink, go and have a burger. 12 minutes long. It was a good break. And it was a great version of the old Aretha hit, Walk On By. Also, David says he remembers it as he was a kid at the time. My dad used to have a tape of it, which he played every summer holiday in the car. Funny how music can bring back memories of the past. We seem to have lost most of the great soul singers now. Marvin Gaye, Barry White, Curtis Mayfield, James Brown, and my personal favourite, the great late Edwin Starr. How about, for one night only, putting God Save the Queen on hold and playing out with a little of Isaac Hayes? So I hope you enjoyed the playing in with a little of Isaac Hayes. I'll tell you what we'll do. See if we can find Edwin Starr's War, which is quite appropriate. And I'll play that in a moment, because we have a new war heating up in the world. And Edwin Starr I did meet, and met Edwin on many times, and he was a fabulous bloke who, of course, lived in this country after America kind of didn't want to have anything to do with him, after he wrote and performed War, which at the time, of course, was an anti-Vietnam song, but is as poignant today as ever it was. So, what do we... Listen, I still haven't got Alex Jones sorted, but Alex Jones will be on the show. Alex is moving his studio. He's moving from one studio to another. That's why the problem is nothing else. You can email Alex's site. You can call him and ask him. He will be here with me live in the future. Now, I remember Alex telling me and various other people saying, do not discount the Russians. In the scope of things, in the conspiracy theorist websites all over the internet, you will find people saying it is Russia, of course, who will be the threat to the world. I hope nobody's going to be a threat to the world, because it seems to me the only people who end up suffering are, of course, the people who really just want to get on with their lives. And we've seen that on the television recently with what's happening in Georgia. In fact, I'm read in the papers today that Katie Mellower, who is Georgian, believe it or not, is heading to Tbilisi. Yeah, she is. And I've interviewed her as well. So I hope she doesn't go there at the moment, but there's a story, I think, in the Mirror about her going off to Tbilisi, which I think is where she came from, her family came from anyway. So the question is, are the Russians being the aggressors? Are they trying to protect the people of South Ossetia? Or are they just wanting to get the whole of their territories, or what they consider to be their territories, back? Either way, it's the innocent people who are suffering. I watched the president of Georgia giving what I can only describe as a really good, very, very well-rehearsed speech in English to the world's media, where he said, we're a little country, we're being attacked, and you had to feel for the guy. But you know the thing I find really, really funny? And first of all, I think Russia should stop this. I think both sides should put their guns away and just let people live their lives. I'm beginning to think that a new world order might be a good idea, and I'm beginning to think that one government for the planet would probably be a good idea. But of course then, unfortunately, people with that kind of power could never be trusted. I can't get over this George Bush telling the Russians to stop behaving in such an aggressive way. And I can't...
That's ridiculous. What a load of baloney.
Yeah, exactly, sweetheart. I can't actually believe the Americans have got the audacity to say, you know, you're targeting civilians. I mean, can we remember back to when George Bush uttered those words, shock and awe? Can we remember, of course, you know, how the American troops are stomping all over the Middle East at the moment? Not their business, really, not their country, not making the world a safer place. Russia, and by the way, while we're throwing this in, guys, can we also remember about the flipping Israelis as well, and what they did to the Lebanon, and how they treated Beirut recently? I didn't hear the condemnation coming out of the Americans' mouths of the Israelis who behaved appallingly, disgustingly. I often say, when I'm having a go at the Israelis, that you would have thought with the recent history of the persecution of the Jews, the Israeli government would have actually treated people a little better than they seem to be prepared to do. Okay, so that's one point. You want to argue it? You feel free. You know where I am. You can email me. You can ring me. I don't give a stuff. The other thing is, the Americans. I'm not, by the way, sticking up for the Russians. People who carry out these sort of wars now, these piffling little wars which are just to flex their muscles in the bigger picture, which end up killing usually elderly people and children. And you've seen this on the news reports. Elderly people and children being shot at and killed. The Americans did it. The Israelis did it. And I imagine anybody who goes into war, the British have done it. It doesn't solve anything. It won't solve anything. But quite frankly, it's the same way that when Brown and Blair and Bush and any others stand up and say, oh, well, you can't have nuclear weapons to the Iranians, or you can't do this to the Iranians, you know, the world is in the place the way it is because, basically, of the Americans. If the Americans didn't behave in such an aggressive manner on this planet, we might actually have a safer world to live in. We have a dangerous world to live in. The Russians now behaving the same way that the Israelis and the Americans have behaved, because they look at the Americans, see what the Americans have done, and think they can do the same. Okay, that's my view. Oh wait, I'll do it again. 0124350. How long does it take to get one thing out of your brain and another one in? 012435566 is the number to ring. 012435566. So you can email me, which of course what most people like to do, because on internet radio most people are sitting in their computers. So you can email me at studio@playradiouk.com. Okay, that's studio@playradiouk.com. What's this say? John says, is the show recorded as James looks slightly strange on the webcam? He looks like a woman.
Yes. We have a couple of technical issues with the static webcam.
Well, take the flipping thing off if I look like a woman.
Well, no, you'll be Sarah Booker. The Sarah Booker photo is what they'll be getting.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
But if you go to nttbs.com and click watch, you'll be able to watch and listen in live streaming views.
Did you hear what he said? Say it again.
nttbs.com. Go to that website, click watch, and you'll be able to watch James like he's on telly.
NTTB. It's very warm in here tonight.
Is it?
I think it is. Don't know why.
I think it's getting quite humid outside, though, isn't it? We're looking for a bit of a thunderstorm.
You're hoping we're looking for a thunderstorm. He's got these cameras up. He can show us all the thunderstorm stuff.
Well, that was actually... we got an email from somebody... Oh, here it is.
Let's all look.
From Malcolm, who's... I think it's basically about a site, itvlocal.com/London. You'll be able to watch the
if we get another one.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the South Coast broadcasting to you tonight, and I can tell you that looking out of the window here, which is over in that direction, if you're looking at nttbs.com, click on Watch, there's a big front coming in. Big front coming in. And it's going to spread rain and drizzle and horrible stuff in the near future. Now, Blackadder Single Malt Whiskey, our sponsors on the James Well Radio Show. This is a bottle I'm holding up here to the camera. You can see this. This is a bottle of Blackadder Single Malt. It is the most delicious whiskey I have drunk so far. And I've drunk a few. And we are giving one away tonight and tomorrow night, courtesy of Blackadder. Single Speyside malt Scotch whiskey distilled in the old-fashioned way. 1993, this bottle was filled with whiskey. It is a collector's item. Okay? It is a collector's item. It is 58.9% proof. All right? It is not to be knocked back. If you are a lager lout, do not even bother to email me. We're giving one away tonight. At the end of the programme, I will pick out either a caller or an emailer that I think has made the most interesting point. In fact, I might even get the phone Führer to do that, or I might even get her over there. Matthias, the producer, to do. So if you'd like a bottle of our favourite whiskey from our fabulous sponsor, then all you've got to do is email or ring. And you can ring on 01243 55 60 60. You can email at studio@playradiouk.com. You could Skype me as well. How do you Skype me? You go play.radio.uk, play.radio.uk, play.radio.uk. Right, got guests coming up. What?
No, yes, sorry, we've got a guest coming up. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who is?
Nick Pope.
Nick Pope. And Nick Pope is the man from the Ministry, or former man from the Ministry of Defence. He's left the Ministry of Defence and gone freelance now. Nick Pope was, he was like the X-Files of the British establishment, but he left because he felt that there was too much of a coincidence, and that there was a lot of UFO activity out there which was unexplainable. And we will be talking to Nick because there has been an enormous amount of UFO activity over the past couple of weeks, and we'll be talking to him about that a little bit later on. Right, let's take a Skype from Vicky. Well, hang on, Vicky, we're going to talk... Vic?
Yeah?
Are you there?
I'm here now.
Okay, right, we'll stay there. We'll come back and we'll talk to you right after these words.
Play 2 UK headlines.
The cost of living's going up again. Now running a bath or doing the washing up is about to get more expensive as water prices are put up. As violence continues in South Ossetia, a war of words is emerging between Georgia and Russia. Russian President Dmitry Medvedev says the military operation is almost over, but Georgia's Mikhail Saakashvili claims it's still pouring extra troops and tanks into the region. Health bosses have apologised to a man whose lung was removed by mistake because he'd been wrongly diagnosed with cancer. Lawrence Ball from Shetland says it's ruined his life and is now launching legal action. And Britain's gold medal winning swimmer Rebecca Adlington is being tipped for more success at the Olympics. After winning the 400 metres freestyle, she's now focusing on the 800 metres, her stronger event.
Play 2 UK weather.
Okay, well, there is, of course, a major weather front heading to the UK from the west tonight. It's going to bring rain and wind to most areas of the country. Tomorrow is going to be another day of sunshine and showers. Temperatures, though, very reasonable. Keep it here. This is the James Well Radio Show.
You're up to date on Play 2 UK. Sunday night just got better on Play 2 UK.
If you're tuning in to hear me, Barry from Watford, well, you're too late. But you can listen to what I had to say on playradiouk.com/podcast. I was on Hershey's Half Hour.
Hershey's Half Hour. 30 minutes of top-flight entertainment expertly crammed into 2 hours. Sundays from 4 on Play 2 UK.
Oh, well, see how you go. I won't be on next week as some other idiot, but,
Imagine what it's like waiting. Just waiting. Waiting with your life on hold. Waiting for an organ transplant. This year, around 1,000 people in the UK could die waiting. Simply because there aren't enough donors. More of us need to join the NHS organ donor register, so please, don't wait. Join the register now. Call 0845 60 6400 or visit uktransplant.org.uk.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies for discerning drinkers the world over. Visit us at playradiouk.com and discover the pure spirit of legend.
Okay, the whale is on, and you can have, thank you very much, I'm speaking. You can have, of course, a bottle of the Spirit of Legend Blackadder single malt whiskey if we decide you are the most entertaining. Call or email. We're giving one away tonight, one away tomorrow night as well, and in future programmes. Now, Vicky is in Croydon.
Hello.
She's always in Croydon. Okay, first one on the show tonight.
First cab off the rank.
First cab off the rank, yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm just going to say hello, actually. And I've been watching the news and watching this stuff going on in Georgia and just looking in horror, to be honest with you.
Well, the world doesn't get a nicer place, that's for sure. It doesn't seem to improve itself, does it, one way or the other?
Well, no, but I'm just wondering where the Russians are going to stop. I mean, I was listening to a political analyst on the radio, the telly the other day, and he's basically saying that the idea is that Russia wants to give a bit of a message.
Oh, it does.
I don't mess with us type
Yeah,
message.
I think everybody, and on my shows over the years, I think I've had people on who have said quite categorically, and now they're being proved right, do not write off Russia, because Russia may have looked as if it went to sleep with all its internal wranglings. Then we had stories about the Russian fleet rusting away and everything else. What we don't know, or what we didn't realise, is that they had been building up their new weaponry undetected. And now they're flexing their muscles.
The thing with Russia is they're incredibly secretive. And people seem to forget that, but you know they've just proved it again. And you know I'm of the opinion. I wonder where this is going to stop.
Well, you know the thing is, you can't. Can you blame the Russians when you see what the Americans and the British have been doing in Iraq? I mean, how can you suddenly say to the Russians, it's particularly if you think it's a similar situation to the troubles we had in Northern Ireland. I'm making it oversimple here, but. You know, supposing Wales decided they wanted to be aligned with Russia or somewhere like that.
Well,
I don't think we'd attack them, but there we are. Who knows?
I think the thing is, Bush has got a bit of a cheek saying what he said about, you know, they're being overly aggressive, etc., because, you know, they made up stories to get us into Iraq, where you can kind of understand that Georgia were sort of, you know, some of their stuff was a bit iffy in the build-up to what was going on. But it just strikes me as a very hypocritical thing to do, really. I just think he should keep his mouth shut and stay out.
Well, yeah, but the other... What are you doing?
It's my dog barking at my neighbour's dog. Sorry.
Well, they're having a sleepover or what?
Well, no, their dogs come out in the garden, and my dog barks at them when they start barking.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
They just want to have a chat. Social interaction, that's okay.
Amongst dogs.
Yeah, I think you're right. To be honest with you, I think you're absolutely right, and I think we should stop interfering. I'm rather saddened to see the rather lack of any kind of response from the two hopeful would-be presidents of the United States. Seem to say absolutely nothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't believe we've said too much either.
No,
mind you, having said that, I don't think it's really our place to, considering what our government dragged us into. So, you know.
Exactly.
But I just think that, you know, I'm just sitting watching it and just thinking this could just get so much worse before it gets better. So,
well, I mean, the only way it's going to get worse if America was to start wanting to go to war with Russia, and that isn't, I don't think, anyway, I don't think that's going to happen. That's just, that's curtains for everybody, and quite frankly, politicians have got egos the size of countries when you come to think about it, and it's their egos that lead the rest of us into being killed. So I think in a democracy we need to get back power, and as I keep on saying, the next election, vote for anybody, don't care who it is, other than your MP. And that will get rid of them all.
Voting for the Labour the next election.
But it doesn't matter who you vote for, as long, whoever your MP is. If your MP's a Tory, then vote for somebody else.
Yeah.
Same as if they're Labour.
Unfortunately, though, James, everybody, if you've got like Tory or Labour strongholds, people just don't do it. They just go with what they know.
Well, that's a problem.
And they're too scared to do anything.
And
different.
whilst people behave like that, we don't have democracy.
No, quite.
Whilst people say, I'm a Tory supporter. I've always loved the Tories. I'm always going to vote Tory. Those people don't believe in democracy, and those people who say, well, I've always voted Labour. I'm changing the stereotypes, by the way. I've always been a Labour man myself, and I shall vote Labour in the next election. My parents, my grandparents, and everybody else I know votes Labour. You see, all those... Go on.
I'm a floating voter. I vote for whoever... if somebody's doing a shitty job, I vote for somebody else.
Good. But I think
there's not more people like that.
For my plan to work, everybody has got to go and vote for someone other than their sitting member of Parliament, even if he or the few she's are quite good.
Mm. Well, I mean, I wrote to my MP the other day because they're doing a big shake-up in Croydon of the secondary education. Mm. And my daughter's school is a particularly good school. I mean, it's the most overly subscribed and best performing school in Croydon. And they want to expand it hugely by the sounds of things. And fortunately, my daughter will be long out there before it becomes, before the changes come in. But I actually sort of said, I'm not happy as a parent. I know this sounds a little bit like it then becomes a bit elitist, but I feel the reason my daughter's school performs so well is because it is a very small school and it has fantastic pastoral care because it's small. And I expressed this to my MP, and I did get a very, very, very nice email back from him. But, they've got the blinkers on. They don't listen to the... to the people in their constituency.
Well, they will if they want to keep their jobs. And when the election comes, you can remind them of all these things, then vote for somebody else. Because you're absolutely right. Your member of Parliament's not interested in you. Very, very likely. Your member of Parliament is only interested in sucking up to the leader of the party in the House of Commons to try and get themselves a better job.
Yeah. It's
and there are very, very few politicians who've ever not been like that. I mean, the only straight to mind, of course, is the legendary Tony. Oh gosh, Tony Benn. How easy you can forget.
Not Tony Blair.
No, I nearly said Tony Benn. I thought, what the hell am I talking about? Tony Benn. But there are a few others. But okay, all right. You better go and walk the dog.
No, I'm not walking. Actually, she's already had a walk.
What do you mean you're not walking? All dogs have to go out at this time of night, don't they?
I took her out for a walk a little bit earlier. She's been out for a walk recently. It means the door's open.
She's got to stay in all night.
No, the door's open, so she can go and play in the garden if she wants to.
All right, okay, as long as she can get out, right. All right, Vic, thanks for your call.
See ya. Bye.
Vicky and Croydon walking the dog or not, but Vicky makes a good point. Where's it going to end? I've no idea where it's going to end, but there will be people listening in Georgia, people listening in Russia tonight. If you want to call us, 01243 55 60 60, or you can send me an email at
studio@playradiouk.com.
Good, thank you very much indeed. studio@playradiouk.com. I was going to say something else. Yeah, I was in a shop over the weekend and I ordered a black coffee, and I was told by this very snotty, pimply bloke, you can't order a black coffee, it's got to be coffee with no milk or cream or sugar.
Oh, dear.
I said, sod off. You could hear a pin drop. And of course, I realised it was a vegetarian cafe I got into. So you knew what you were expecting. Got a few interesting emails. Could you understand that email I gave you? You don't ask for a black coffee because you could become offensive. And apparently, people are going on courses, different places now, how not to offend somebody. Are you black? And if you're black, are you offended by me ordering a black coffee? I want to discuss.
I would be offended.
You'd be offended?
I wouldn't.
Oh, no, good. Well, you're not black, are you?
Well, no,
if I order a pink
quite
coffee...
high, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay, let's see. James, are you touching it?
No, I don't understand this email that you've given me here.
Read it out just in case.
Possible subjects. Clapton last night. Ewell, Denmark, Dongles.
Right, okay.
Was Clapton playing last night?
I don't know. He wasn't playing in Ewell. Ewell's where I was brought up and went to school.
Right. Well, okay. I would know if Clapton was playing.
No. No.
I don't think he is.
No, I didn't think he was either. Saw you several times on television in the last week being interviewed about kidney cancer. Where were you on Bid TV last Friday? Yes, I was. I switched on for you but didn't see you. Best wishes, Alison in Tatcham. Looking forward to Mr. Mendoza this week as well. Good. Yeah, I was. I'm on Bid TV 7:30 till 10:30 on Fridays. Okay, this month. 7:30 till 10:30. Bid TV. Let's sort of Barry and Leeming. Hi, Barry.
Hi, James. Hi, nice to hear you again.
Yes, Barry. When did we talk last?
Well, I like the Blackadder whiskey. I don't know how I'm going to win that.
You're not.
Some info about whiskey. Do you want some info?
No, I don't want any info about whiskey, thanks. That's cheating.
But you can have whiskey with or without.
Whiskey with or without what?
Yeah. In Scotland, it's called whiskey without an E.
Is it?
In Ireland, it's whiskey with an E.
Is it?
I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't even care about that.
I'm only trying to win a bottle.
I know you're trying too hard. That's the problem.
How about, that Blackadder, is it 10 years? I'm not sure how old that one is. But it only ages when it's in the cask. When they actually bottle it, it doesn't age anymore.
Well, no, it was bottled 12 years ago, and it was in the cask for about 10 years before that. Or was it 20 years?
Cool.
It's a long time.
That's cool.
It's longer than the
I would
phone.
like to tell you, if you just don't open the bottle, it will keep for 100 years. You can still drink it.
Well, you can
if
leave
you
it.
open a bottle of whiskey, it goes off after 5 years.
Yeah.
You're getting bored now.
I'm very
I'm the
bored.
one who, I saw Eric last night.
Did you?
I used to live in Yule, and I live in Denmark, and I'm the guy. I won't piss you around with.
Oh, you live in Denmark now. Are you the one who's the DJ in Denmark?
Yeah, you can ask me any question. And then the last one was the
Obviously
dongle,
not.
because I bought one, and I'm not fascinated by it, but you can choose one of those four.
Okay, where were you born?
Oldham. Straight up the M1 and turn left.
Yeah.
No, Dad, we moved south, so I've lived on Reigate Road opposite Yule Tech.
All right.
In fact, you're probably about the same. I'm 58. I don't know how old you are.
Younger than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But do you know the record shop down in Yule? I used to buy records. You got a ticket and you could win a free album.
Yeah, that's
Did you
right, I
ever buy
remember.
records?
Yeah, I did.
What?
I bought
Yeah,
Tommy
exactly.
Steele and Little White Bull in that record shop. A Little White Bull.
You know what? When
You don't know what I'm
beat-
talking about, do you?
I do, because my
course I
girlfriend
do.
sang it in the film, The Little White Bull.
All right, okay.
Well, it's DJs.
Yeah. And
not
do you know
gonna
that record shop is now a coffee bar?
Really?
Coffee shop. They don't have coffee bars
We'll
anymore.
have a couple of Irish coffee down there one day.
Yeah.
I remember when you ordered the actual... When Beatles albums came out, they were sold out. You had to order them in stereo. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Do you know who I saw at Yule Tech? I saw the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
Go on. We had Clapton there. We had Cream.
Yeah, Cream played there, you're right. Cream did play there,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I kissed my first girl in a dance there.
Which school did you go to, by the way?
Which school did you go to?
Well, I went Linton, and I went to Old Freeman's in Ashted.
Oh,
And I
the
went
posh
to
one.
The which one?
You went to the posh one, I see.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right, you can't help it.
I got sent there. My dad was in America. I was a boarder.
Were you?
Yeah.
You were a boarder?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to any other schools?
Yeah.
He's making
no.
this up, actually. I can tell he's making it up.
Hello. Ask any question about Yule or Ashted or Yule Tech.
Yeah.
And
What's
I'll answer straight away.
What's the name of the park?
Which park?
What's the biggest park?
Itchycoo Park. Epsom. I'm talking about Epsom.
No, Yule.
North
North Yule or North Cheam or Cheam borders a park. Which park?
Well, look, in Cheam we had the Bath. The Who played there all the time.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
You're wrong.
Uh-huh. Well, you should know the name of the park.
Yeah, I know.
Really famous park.
I'm 58 years old and lost my brain.
Yeah, that's too much smoking, isn't it?
I was going to talk to you. Haven't told me which school you went to. You're
I'm not
trying to
telling
keep
you.
that a secret, aren't you?
Get my book and read it. It's in there. Shut your mouth. Sorry, that's my producer. He's got to be... Would you stop doing that?
James?
Yes?
James?
What?
Are you into Clapton?
I like... I mean, I'm more... I was much bigger fan of Hendrix than Clapton, if you're talking guitar heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, Barry loved it. Got to go. Thank you, Barry. I'm beginning to fall asleep, and obviously you are as well.
He sounded like he might have got back from the pub.
Well, no, he lives in Denmark. I think he got back from the coffee shop. That's what I think.
I thought that was just Holland that they were restricted to.
Oh, was it? Oh, right, okay. Maybe it's the same. It's all the same to me. It's all over there, isn't it? It's all over on that damp bit up there, over to the bit north of France.
What bit's that?
Well, sort of, Holland, isn't it? Belgium.
Yeah.
That's the sort of countries that never meant to be countries.
That's right, yeah.
They're just, Oh, better not say that, had I? James, one of my favourite albums of all time is Tough Guys by Isaac Hayes, which I don't think we've got either. The image I remember of Isaac was when he wore his gold chain vest. I fancied myself in one of those, which may have been at the Watt Stacks Festival in the early 70s. It was symbolic of the emancipation from slavery. Unlike the bombastic bling of today, most people who saw it would have appreciated the symbolism and the irony. Ian in St Albans. Thank you for that, Ian. Give him a... I like that one. Peter Collins says, James, believe me, if I was living in Georgia now, I would be a bit worried. The last time Russia launched a war against one of its independent states was in the Chechnya War in 1992, which resulted in 150,000 deaths in a country of only 1 million people. The brutality of the Russian army is well known. Once they unleash a war, I am sure the poor people of Chechnya will vouch for that. I'm sorry, James, but this war in Georgia has the dangers of spreading into a larger regional war in the Balkans, and sooner or later we will be drawn into that war, and God help us, Peter from Birmingham. Peter, I think there is an air of truth about what you say. Unfortunately, we can't really get drawn into any more wars. We don't have any more soldiers. Our soldiers are committed. And unfortunately, we have allowed anyone else to think it's okay. Russia's saying, we've been asked to help. You remember we went into the Falklands, all right? Went all the way down there, halfway around the world, to protect the small country of the Falklands against Argentina. It's very, very difficult to justify sticking your nose into anyone else's business. And once you've done it, you really don't have any place turning round to another country and saying, you can't do it. How on earth can we turn around to the Russians and say, can you get out of Georgia, you've no business being there, when our troops are still marching around in Afghanistan and in Iraq? Now, it's a mad, mad world. And it's not going to solve anything. The only people who are going to make money out of this are the mercenaries, who will eventually be asked to go in and fight these wars, and the politicians, because the politicians always seem to make out of this mess. I have no idea why. If you want to email us on these subjects, or if you want to start something different, you want to talk about something different, feel free. You can do that. 01243 55 60 60 is the number to ring. Take some more calls on that. You can Skype us at play.radio.uk. You can also email me, studio@playradio.com. Want to get some more emails on tonight, studio@playradio.uk.com. And there's another thing I was going to say as well. I forgot what. Oh, yes, the Olympics. I have watched the archery. Target archery is a bit boring, but I quite interesting because, that's what I do. And I just want us to sell the Olympics before 2012. There is no way that we can afford the Olympics. They're talking about £4 or £5 million worth of fireworks just being blown up. I think the Chinese did more than that. And we're talking about, we're going to do just as well as the Chinese. What?
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the Chinese faked most of them with lasers.
Oh, good. Okay, well, whatever. I don't want us doing it either.
I've got no interest in the Olympics.
Good, no. I mean, how can the Olympics be, how is Anne Murray playing tennis for an Olympic? He's just got thrown out in the first round, by the way. Either it's an amateur sort of shindig or it isn't. Make up your minds. It's an excuse for countries to score political points off other countries. That's all it is. That is it. And that's why the Russians went in to Georgia. Now, they've gone into Georgia purely because they know the Olympics is on and it's going to make more news and it's going to be more PR, if you can talk about public relations with people dying. It's a bit of a PR stunt, and I hope it stops at that. Unfortunately, people are getting killed. So I'd rather we said we don't really want the Olympics. I mean, you know, there is a credit crunch. People need drugs. I spent a lot of last week going around talking about the fact that the ridiculous... forget NICE, the drug advisory service. They're just... It's like giving the Bank of England autonomy over the interest rates. It's an excuse so politicians don't have to cop it for what they're actually doing. So NICE have got absolutely no say in this drug thing at all. They're told what to say because they're funded by the government. It's a government-funded organisation who do what the government tell them to do. And seeing that NICE are not prepared to come and debate anything with me, I think they're a bunch of lying bastards. And if they want to complain, you know where I am, and I'd love to talk to you. So, whilst we can't afford to give people drugs to save their lives, whilst we can't afford to do all manner of things that we need to do in this country, we can't afford the Olympics. We can't afford the Olympics. And furthermore, Tessa Jowell and all those other prats who've been going on about how wonderful it is should be perhaps publicly thrashed on a Saturday afternoon during half-time in a football match. It's just a thought. Tell me what you think. 01243 55 60 60. Back right after this.
Hi, this is Mike Mendoza. Remember me? Wasn't that long ago, surely? I'm here on Play 2 UK every Wednesday and Thursday, being totally and utterly rude, nasty, whatever else you want me to do. But you can join in, of course, any time through the programme. I'm here 8 o'clock till midnight on Play 2 UK, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Be there or you are going to miss out on one hell of a lot of fun. See you then.
Are everyday items stretching your family income to the limits at the moment? Me too. Well, I found this amazing website, comparison-plus.co.uk. It's amazing. You can compare the prices of thousands of products from all the big retailers. And what's more, it's a totally free service. You don't have to become a member to use Comparison Plus. But if you do register with comparison-plus.co.uk, you get cashback rewards, giving you even bigger savings. Don't pay over the odds. Click comparison-plus.co.uk and start saving now.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies award-winning single malt. Visit playradiouk.com and have the pure spirit of legend delivered to your door.
James Whale.
Silence was never an option.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Steve Robert. Hi, Stevie. Give him a honk on the horn. Quite interesting. He said, James, look at the newspaper cutting I have attached. He sent me an attachment. Got it here. Can you believe that people who cannot even tell the time are being employed as traffic wardens, or, if you prefer, civil enforcement officers, as they now call them? I got this from one of those local metro papers. And this is the story of Dave Alsop. Okay, and Dave also, let me quote from this. It says, a motorist was wrongly given a parking ticket because the wardens did not know how to tell the time. Now, I want you to think about it. I want you to listen to this carefully. The wardens gave this guy, Dave Alsop, a parking ticket, wrongly, because they couldn't tell the time. Dave Alsop was stunned to be given a £50 fine despite clearly having more than 20 minutes left on his parking ticket. The wardens had used a calculator to work out the expiry time, but made the mistake of assuming there were 100 minutes in an hour. Dave says, I tried to explain to the warden calculators work in decimals, but he didn't have a clue. He thought he was doing things correctly. He just carried on doing the same on the other cars. What a bunch of... Mr. Alsop from Devon parked his car at 2:49, paid £1.20 for 75 minutes, which meant he was covered until 4:04. He returned to his vehicle at 3:41, but the warden entered 14:49 into the calculator, added 70.75 to get the time of 15:24. Mr. Alsop had received an apology from the council and an assurance that the blundering warden had received training in how to tell the time. But I'm glad Dave Alsop went public with this and showed just how flippin' stupid most of these prats are. I had an argument with the warden. He couldn't, never mind he couldn't tell the time, he couldn't speak English. I said, look, I'm sorry, but this is... And all he would do was wave at me, go, no speak English, no speak English. How the flip do you get a job as what they're now calling civil enforcement officers? No wonder this country's so mucked up. We're taking on... Oh, I'm not supposed to say, you can't say nutcases anymore. It offends mentally ill people. Can't say black coffee. It offends somebody who's black for some reason. You can't call people nut jobs anymore because it offends the mentally ill.
Yep. Bumlords offends the gays.
What?
Bumlords.
Bumlords?
Yeah.
What's bumlord? I've never heard that word.
Bumlord? You never heard that
No.
word? No. Bumlord is somebody who's a lord of bums, who likes men.
That's rather that's rather disgusting. That's like calling you a dick lord, isn't it?
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, but then you are one of those hoodie yobbos who I have to control.
I'm a chav, am I?
You are a chav. You look and behave like a chav, and you never fail to sort of live up to your chavvy status. Look at your nose. You've got a chav nose for a start.
How can I have a chav nose?
Because you've got a chav face. You've got a chav body. You wear chav clothes. You drive a chav car.
I don't drive a chav car.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You drive a chav car.
I drive a normal car.
What do you drive?
Ford Focus.
There we are, chav car. You can't get more chavvy than a Ford Focus.
Or a Scooby,
Yeah, it's exactly the same. So anyway, this was Torbay Council. I would think the people in Torbay Council I should be embarrassed now. That was I enjoyed that. Thank you, Steve Roberts. Very good email. I'll put that aside. That might win the whiskey as well. Put that in. If you just joined me, the James Well Radio Show, our sponsors of the programme, Blackadder Whiskey, single Speyside malt Scotch whiskey, distilled in the old-fashioned way. If you're watching us on the telly tonight, you can see there we are holding it up, Blackadder whiskey. This is a collector's item, and we're giving one away on the show each night. And if you would like to win one, you have to be an entertaining email or call. That's all you have to do. I can't believe that. I really can't believe that we are giving people, jobs where they have power to exert over fellow human beings, and they can't A, they can't speak the language, and B, they can't tell the time. I believe that if you find a place to park, you should be able to park there and leave your car there as long as you want.
Yeah.
And sod anyone else.
If you can find a place to park, yeah.
If you can find a place to park, yeah.
That's the trick these days.
Exactly. And if you can't, then don't stay there. That's it, Anyway, ours is not to reason why, etc., etc., etc.
The do-or-die prophet.
That is, the do-or-die prophet. If you want to watch the programme, you could go to nttbs.com and click the watch link, all right? nttbs.com and click the watch link. If you can't get on, keep trying, because we only have a certain limited number of people who can watch the programme live. But then people drop out and go to bed and do other things. So keep trying, and you hopefully will get through. N for knobbly bits, T for tiddly bits, 2 T's, 2 tiddly bits, B for bubbly bits, and S for squibbly bits. Or if you want to do it with the phonetic alphabet, go on, show off.
November, Tango, Bravo, Sierra.
Thank you. Good. Very good indeed. James, I think I should get the whiskey, as I have never tried a single malt yet from Sundip. Sundip, are you old enough to drink? I don't think that's good enough, Sundip. I don't think, the fact you've never tried one. James, are you aware that a popular video game released in 2001 called Ghost Recon bears striking similarities to the events now unfolding in Georgia? No, I must admit, I missed that.
That's it's an adaptation from one of the Tom Clancy books.
What's that you've got there?
This is the actual whiskey.
Oh, right, you just gave me an empty box.
Yeah, but it needs to stay packaged like that so we can send it to people.
All right, okay. Do they get the box as well?
Yeah, the box comes separate, so they'll open the whiskey and put the box together and put the whiskey in the box.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, so you put the box together yourself?
I did, yes.
Yes, that's very impressive.
Chavs can do something.
Very impressive. I wondered why it was coming apart at the end.
Oh, right.
That's very impressive. Yep, no. Blackadder. The maltest of malt whiskies. Very nice. I could just do with a sip now. Anyway, Dino, thank you for that. He says, Russia's fallen under the control of ultra-nationalistic politicians intent on rebuilding the Iron Curtain. This leads to conflict with NATO as Russia attempts to reclaim the breakaway Republic of Georgia and the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. As the regional wars escalate out of control, the casualties mount and the ghosts are sent in. During the first few missions of the game, the ghosts battle South Ossetian rebel forces from the north of Georgia, who are harassing the legitimate government and its allies. The Russian government complains to the United Nations that the Americans have interfered in their affairs, and eventually they send in their army to aid the South Ossetian rebels. Prophetic? Too close for comfort? Yeah, Dino, in Dudley, I think you're right, but it's an interesting point.
It's a good game, I have to say. It's a very good game.
Do you think the Russians have been playing that?
It's a very good game of ideas.
Earl has emailed me. He says, I don't think the reason behind the Russian invasion in South Ossetia, into South Ossetia, but about Georgia becoming allied to NATO and westward looking, I think you're probably right. Russia feels threatened by this. They also feel threatened by the possibility of a U.S. missile system, which would give the U.S. first strike nuclear capability. So, yes, the U.S. are to blame for the situation the world is in at the moment. Dick Cheney. Now, Dick Cheney is an ignorant, stupid man, in my view, who is probably the architect of the war in Iraq. That's me saying that. Errol says, Dick Cheney also said this week that Russian action must not go unanswered. Does that mean the US would attack the Russians in some way? If the Russians take the whole of Georgia, I think the West could get dragged into the fight, as the Russians would control the Caspian Sea oil pipe, which supplies a large amount of the West's oil. This would be a very dangerous situation. Hopefully, when Obama gets in, the US can start to repair the damage Bush has done. Thank you, Errol. It's a good email, too. That's another very good email. And I think absolutely right. When I heard on the news tonight that Dick Cheney had said the Russian action must not go unanswered, Dick Cheney, as far as I'm concerned, is a man who should be held culpable for the situation in which the world is at the moment. And I really think that Cheney and Blair and Bush should be locked up and then brought to The Hague and made to answer for the way they have treated the people of the world. I think that Bush and Blair and Cheney and a few others should really be brought to book. I don't know what you think. Give me a call, 01243 55 60 60. Okay, phone for you. We've got a couple of calls. We'll take a call in a moment, I think, if that's all right with you. If you want...
We've got a caller on Skype.
We've got Jason. Who is that prat there? Is that the caller?
That's me.
Oh, not you.
Listen, I want
you
to
look like you sound.
With you this evening.
You
what
just
you
look like you sound.
Mid-30s, thrusting young professional.
Yeah, you look like a greasy little estate agent.
Don't be so rude. You're such a rude man. You've insulted millions of people this evening.
Get on with it. And he's from Essex. Look, he's from Essex.
With you.
He's an Essex boy.
I think.
I thought he lived in the city of London.
The Russians a good bombing.
That's because you're a pillar.
That they got a good during himself for a couple of years.
Luckily, you don't even know how to adjust your Skype. Thank goodness for that. Why does he get through all the time? Yeah, I don't understand how he manages to get through.
He seems to slip through my fingers.
Yeah, he seems to spend his entire life sitting on the phone waiting for us, doesn't he?
He does, but we have Dan from Hartlepool on line 1.
Do we? Okay, let's say hi to Dan from Hartlepool. Hi, Dan.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm good, Dan. How are you?
Good.
Hang on, Dan. That's two of us. Two of us are good. That's brilliant, Dan. That's excellent.
Well, I could be great, James.
No, don't go mad. Oh, you sound... You sound like a friend of mine, Simo, but as I know Simo's on holiday at the moment, you can't possibly be him.
No, I'm definitely not Simo.
Okay.
I'm sure he hasn't. I'm sure he hasn't got a great personality like me, James.
I'm not being drawn.
To be seen, eh?
Okay, right. What is it?
James, two things actually. I've just got your book, Almost a Celebrity. I might be a little bit behind the times because I know it's been out a little while. I must admit, I've never picked up a book in my life.
Well, I'm glad you bought that one. That's good.
But your book is entertaining. And very good as well. I must admit, I kind of surprised myself. I didn't think I'd pick it up, but
it's easy to read. I've only used short words because they're the only ones I know.
All right. Okay. Well, it is good. But what I wanted to know, James, is I was listening to you a couple of weeks ago because to be honest, I've been listening to you for absolutely years, and I was wondering. I heard you a couple of weeks ago say that there's going to be an updated version of this brought out.
There is.
That consists of information from the other station.
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
If you yawn again when I'm talking about my book, I'm going to come over there and slap you one. Do you understand? I'm going to slap you. So sorry about that, my favourite caller. Talking about my book. It comes out end of September.
And
in paperback.
Get it, Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon. Okay.
Put in an order. Make sure you get one of the first ones.
I will. If it's anything like this one, it'll be...
Well, it's got a couple of different pictures and it's got an extra chapter.
That's the extra chapter I want to read, yeah.
Anyway, right. Okay, so the world is falling apart. It could be improved by reading my book. That's obviously... just go to amazon.co.uk. Or go to my website, jameswellradio.com. I haven't persuaded Playradio to sell it yet. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say, years and years ago, you had somebody on called Charlie Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, because I thought he was really, really funny. I was just wondering, is there any chance at all that you can get him on the show?
I should think there's every chance. I mean, I know Charlie Chuck's real name is David.
All right.
And I don't know if he's listening at the moment or not, but if he is listening, maybe he'll give me a ring. I'll get him on one evening.
Will you? Because he's kind of really funny, isn't he? And
he's completely mad.
Well, yeah.
Completely and utterly mad.
Not wrong with being mad, James.
Oh, I think he's madder than you and me.
Put together?
Yeah.
Blaming out.
He lives in Charlie Chuckland, not where we live. All right, take it easy. Thanks for your call.
Cheers, James.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Join us, 01243556060. Dino's been, he said he sent in some of these 1,000 new laws which have been passed that allow the state to state entry to your private property, apparently. Invade your home to see if your pot plants have pests or do not have a plant passport. Plant Health England Order 2005. What a load of rubbish. Survey your home and garden to see if your hedge is too high. They can do that through the Anti-Social Behaviour Act. Check that accommodation given to asylum seekers is not being lived in by non-asylum seekers. They can raid your house to check if unlicensed gambling is taking place. They can seize fridges without the correct energy rating. These are all laws that exist to enable the police to come into your home. The rise in clipboard welding state inspectors flies in the face of repeated pledges by ministers to curb the power of bureaucracy. And Gordon Brown last year announced a review of powers of entry laws and said they would be subjected to a liberty test to stop abuse by the state. Good. And, of course, Town Hall bin police already have the right to enter homes, take photographs, seize contents of bins, and investigate as required. Well, be good, because if they came into my house, they'd be leaving feet first. We do live. We are. The more I see it, the more I'm beginning to believe that we live in a kind of police state where, if the police wanted to get into your home, they wouldn't have much. Did you see the story in the papers about knife crime? Do you see how many people have been picked up in London carrying knives, over 1,000, most of which were sent at what?
I've actually prepped you some stuff about that.
I know. I know. That's all right. But did you see how many people are not going into? It's just a bizarre idea. I put it right at the bottom here, of course, right at the bottom of all the stuff you did. Okay, I've lost it now. Where did you put it? I'll just make sure.
Page 11 in the Mirror.
Oh, page 11 in the Mirror.
Over there, yeah.
But I thought. Oh, right, okay.
Well, no, it was in the Talk Radio Top 10 with a note saying page 11 in the Mirror.
Oh, was it? Oh, right, okay. You're so bloody efficient. That's your problem, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Horror statistics after crackdown on under-18s. 800 teenagers caught with weapons. 564 blades among the collections. 1 in 9 in trouble spot were carrying. And none, as far as I can see, well, hardly any, have actually been imprisoned. It's just bizarre. Just bizarre. But then, you know, I don't know if you saw that a bloke had been heavily fined in Scotland recently for carrying a large gobstopper in a sock.
Really?
Yeah. He had a gob... What?
Like a cosh?
Yeah. He had a gobstopper in a sock. One of those big gobstoppers the size of a billiard ball in a sock. And he kept it in the car. Now, I have stuff in the car which might be considered to be... don't you?
Well,
I mean, I've got a jack handle in the car for cranking up my... I mean, that would be... I've got a steering lock, which would do a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Thinking of the steering lock and the jack. I was thinking of the bows and the arrows.
Oh, right. Well, that's like golf clubs in the back. And you could do a lot of damage with a golf club, you know, so it's just ridiculous. I mean, people do keep things in there just in case you get attacked. You don't know. We live in a lawless society. The police can't do anything. Well, they never come, do they? I was doing a little bit on Thursday last week, filming for one of the news stories about the drugs to help combat kidney cancer, which, of course, as you know, the government are refusing to sort of fund because they spent too much money on the Olympic Games, but amongst other things. So I was doing a bit of just filming a news report, and these security people came up, and it was being filmed by a young lady who was doing the interview, doing the camera, doing the sound, doing everything, which is what the news channels do now. And this great big fat ugly git of a security man came up and said, have you got permission to film here? And it was like 2-minute piece, right? I mean, if we'd been making a movie, and it was on a footpath along the River Thames, it was just on a footpath, but this great big fat slob came up and put his hand over the lens of the camera, and I said, don't do that, please. He said, you can't film here. I said, well, either move your hand or I'll put my hand across your face. It's a bit silly. I shouldn't have behaved like this. I mean, I am my own worst enemy. Anyway, interestingly, the bloke said, if you don't stop this, I'm going to call the police. I said, well, listen, you call the police, old chap, all right? You go off and call the police. And he's getting on his radio, he's going, I need assistance, I need assistance. There's me, all right? And this young girl who's shaking by this time, and I was saying, look, don't. I said, look, you're frightening her. We're doing a piece for the news, right, about anti-cancer drugs. Call the police, call. I said, fine, look, could you do that over there? Call the police over there, because they'll be here next week. So when they come next week, I'll talk to the police. Well, I won't be here next week. I'll be here in 2 minutes. So if you just move over there. So in the end, we had to go and do it somewhere else. And I turned around and I said, by the way, you could do with losing a few stone, you fat git.
You said that to him?
Yeah. He came running after me. I turned around and I love doing this. I said, so, what are you going to do? You're going to hit me? There's loads of people looking, aren't there? What are you going to do? You're going to hit me? Well, he can't, can he? No. Security man for, God, I can't remember who played, but along the Thames path. Cretinous individual. You give these people, like traffic wardens, you give these people a little bit of power, and they're too flipping thick. They're too flipping thick to do a decent job. You give them a little bit of power, and it goes to their bloody stupid heads. I'm fed up with it. You know, first of all, this is a public footpath. And there are bits of London now where they start charging you to film anything. Well, that's ridiculous. When you're doing two-minute piece for a news program, I mean, okay, if you're going to make a movie and you want to, stop people doing their bit, just appalling. But it's just the same with people who come tell you can't park here, you can't do this, you can't do that. If you're one of these cretinous people, you're not listening to my show. Sod off. I'm not against the police, because the police generally do quite a dangerous job. I am against the stupidity of some of the police. Some people who become policemen, and the ignorance of some of the people who become fairly high up in the police force. And I am pretty much against most of the chief police officers, because I don't think they could organise a piss up in a brewery, to be quite honest with you.
Well, I think they're all, in my opinion, without evidence, a bit corrupt.
Well, that's a pretty stupid thing to say, but... and I'm sure when you grow up, you'll be less chavvy, and you won't say ridiculous things like that, which I'd like to disassociate myself from. No, you're being stupid. You're being stupid now.
Missed anything?
Hello, my name's John Archer.
Hello, this is Chris Tarrant.
Hello there, this is Sean Williamson.
Hi, this is Scott Gore from Tin Lizzy.
With the legendary David Coverdale of Whitesnake. Good evening.
Not the Tommy Boyd Show. Big in Japan.
There's actually something about, I think, tyrannical leadership that keeps you looking young. I mean, Saddam didn't look as old as he does, did he?
James Whale.
The legendary Aaron Barsha.
PlayRadioUK.com/podcast.
PlayRadioUK.com/podcast.
Missed anything? Then go to PlayRadioUK.com/podcast.
Find out how your business can reach over 3.5 million clients right now by emailing sales@PlayRadioUK.com or call 01243 556 285. PlayRadioUK.com. Internet radio your way.
Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play 2 UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and Unleashed, the James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies award-winning single malt. Visit playradiouk.com and have the pure spirit of legend delivered to your door.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Okay, just after 10 past 9, very good evening to you. The James Whale Radio Show is on the... I'm fading my mic down and not the... I've been doing this too long, obviously. So listen, welcome to the programme. I'm going to talk to Nick Pope about UFOs in a moment. If you want to email the show, it's studio@playradiouk.com. You can email us with your thoughts on the news today, or if there's something else you want us to start talking about, feel free. Pick up the phone, give me a ring. And... if you're an upset traffic warden or an upset policeman or anybody else, give us a call. Tell us why those people who have power entrusted to them don't seem to be able to do the job very well. Other main stories which talk radio programmes talking about at the moment, the passing of Isaac Hayes we mentioned earlier, and we played the theme from Shaft. Cancer treatments, of course, has come under fire because of the lack of funding. Pensions, well, nobody's going to have one of those. Education, there's very little of that. Knife crime. Retailers cut the price of petrol, bit of good news. Zimbabwe power share talks seem to resume, but they don't seem to get anywhere. Water bills are going to rise. Well, surprise, surprise, everything else is going up. Water's going to go up as well. The Beijing Olympics. Apparently not many people are turning up to watch the Olympics. Is there any way Britain can get out of hosting? London can get out of hosting, because it's going to cost all of us, whether you live in London or not. We're all going to end up paying more. Surely we don't want to be bothered with the Olympics. Money is too tight at the moment. How on earth are the Olympics going to benefit anybody? It's got nothing to do with the sport anyway. It's purely a way for countries to score political points off each other. And finally, Russia bombing Georgia. Russia committing acts of atrocity in Georgia, and America said this is just not on. It makes you laugh, doesn't it, when you see what America's been doing? So some of the stories we've been talking about, or could talk about, in the rest of the programme, and if you want to join us, you know the number, 01243 55 60 60. Now, let me talk to my very good friend, Mr. Nick Pope. Hello, Nicholas.
Hello, good evening.
Now, are you in the wine bar or are you at home?
I am actually at home, but I do have a glass of chilled Pinot Grigio here.
Oh, no. Where I worked in the other place, he'd come in and he'd drink us out of house and home. We'd have to get a can... We'd have to get a six-pack in for him to do the interview.
This is outrageous slander, totally against all Ofcom rules.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course. Well, as Ofcom rules don't apply to internet radio, that doesn't really matter. But of course, if I was telling lies, you could still sue me, which I'm not, and have witnesses to prove it. Now, listen, my old friend, I haven't spoken to you for a while. Well, I have spoken to you for a while, but I haven't seen you for ages. We'll have to get together.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure, it's your turn to buy me something like lunch, dinner, tea.
Yeah, no,
whiskey.
Absolutely fine. I look forward to that. You've got all my contact details.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, well, now we've got the pleasantries out of the way, just so there will be people who've never heard of you before, because, of course, we're broadcasting to the planet. Now, you used to work for the Ministry of Defence for many years, and you headed up their UFO... What was it called, actually?
Well, the funny thing is, I call it the UFO Project because that's what it, says what it does on the tin, but it didn't actually have a name at all. When the Americans did this, the United States Air Force investigated UFOs, they actually had a formal project name. They called it Project Bluebird. Us Brits, for some reason, didn't. So it's variably called the UFO Project.
You must have had headed note paper.
On the headed note paper, it actually said Secretariat Air Staff, but that's so meaningless. It's such MOD gobbledygook that...
Hang on, are you allowed to tell me that?
Oh, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am, because various documents that I wrote from that period have been released under the Freedom of Information Act. It's quite funny seeing some of my own material that people are asking for, and it's coming out now under FOI.
Okay, right, now we know where you are. So you work for the Ministry of Defence, you've written a couple of books, a couple of novels, and a couple which, of course, people are not sure whether they're novels or not, are they?
Yeah, this was actually a big conspiracy theory. I wrote 2 sci-fi novels, Operation Thunderchild and Operation Lightning Strike, and because I'd worked, and actually when I wrote them, I was still working for the MOD, and because I was writing about the political decision-making process, various kind of MOD committees, standard operating procedures, various military things, I actually had to put those 2 sci-fi novels through the official clearance process, and to the best of my knowledge, those are the only 2 science fiction novels ever to have needed government clearance.
And did they change much?
No, not much, to be fair. There were a couple of minor tweaks, but generally I know where the line is. I know not to divulge any classified information.
Okay, so if there were a UFO hanging around in a hangar somewhere in darkest Suffolk, you wouldn't tell me anyway.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Okay. Right, well, with that, and you still signed up to the Official Secrets Act?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, the funny thing is about that I signed it on my first morning, and I worked for the MOD for 21 years. I signed it, literally almost as the first thing that I did. And on my last day, I had to sign a sort of reminder form to say, even though I am now leaving, my security pass is going to be taken from me, I'm walking out of the door never to return, please remember, Mr. Pope, this binds you for life.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry, but we all went down the pub and had a big celebratory drink.
Yeah, that's not unlike leaving a radio station. Okay, but if I divulge things, of course, I won't get locked up. You will. Now, there's been a lot of UFO reported sightings over the past few weeks, hasn't there? More so than for quite some considerable time.
Yes, this is... I have dubbed this summer of the saucers. I mean, things have gone absolutely crazy.
I mean, why? And so little of it has actually made primetime news.
But yet some of it has.
Well, it's been good write-ups in the papers, but...
Yes. It was literally front-page news on The Sun. They ran the headline, Army Spot UFOs over Shropshire, as a front-page headline. And I've only ever seen one other newspaper front-page headline on UFOs before, and that was the News of the World when they broke the story of the Rendlesham Forest incident, and they put that on the front page. But yeah, we've had a couple of really high-profile sightings. On June the 7th, we had these 3 squaddies at Turnhill Barracks see UFOs flying over the base and actually get footage of them on their cell phone. Sorry, I've just come back from America. I've turned into an American here. I mean mobile phone.
Have you seen the footage?
I have. To be perfectly honest, it's not that impressive, and it may well be these so-called Chinese lanterns, fire lanterns. But the fact is, this was UFOs seen over a military base by military personnel, filmed. That makes it actually not a UFO issue. It makes it a national security issue. And I say that obviously with my my MOD background. So that was the first one. And then a couple of hours later, a police helicopter coming in to land at RAF St Athan in Wales.
South Wales, up on the coast. I know it well, yeah.
They saw a UFO, and this is where it gets really interesting, because the media ran a story that the crew of 3 saw this UFO and gave chase. They said it was a near miss. They gave chase. They only broke off the chase when they ran low on fuel and realised that they couldn't catch it anyway.
So they were chasing it in a helicopter?
In a helicopter, yeah.
They had no chance.
Well, absolutely. And then South Wales Police issued a statement, and this was a very, very bizarre statement, and I think if you Google it, you can probably find it on the internet, because it's again, somebody has made an FOI request. Basically, they said, yes, there was a UFO sighting, but there wasn't a chase, which was an interesting sort of statement in itself. And then the MOD press office made an even more bizarre statement, and they said, it's not advisable for police helicopters to go chasing UFOs. And a lot of people have said, well, what do they mean by that? This is the organisation that says that these things don't exist.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. You can have another swig of Pinot Grigio, but only one.
Playradio UK headlines.
The cost of living's going up again. Now running a bath or doing the washing up is about to get more expensive as water prices are put up. As violence continues in South Ossetia, a war of words is emerging between Georgia and Russia. Russian President Dmitry Medvedev says the military operation is almost over, but Georgia's Mikhail Saakashvili claims it's still pouring extra troops and tanks into the region. Health bosses have apologised to a man whose lung was removed by mistake because he'd been wrongly diagnosed with cancer. Lawrence Ball from Shetland says it's ruined his life and is now launching legal action. And Britain's gold medal winning swimmer Rebecca Adlington is being tipped for more success at the Olympics. After winning the 400 metres freestyle, she's now focusing on the 800 metres, her stronger event.
Play 2 UK weather.
Okay, tonight... Oh, gosh, these headphones again. Do you know, I've got a loose thing. I must get it fixed. There'll be light rain in places this evening, but during the night, a band of heavy rain will move north-eastwards across southern and western parts of England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. We're all going to get wet. Tomorrow, heavy rain will continue northwards throughout northern England and eventually southern Scotland. Sunshine and showers will follow across England and Wales. Northern Scotland will have isolated showers. It'll be windy in places.
You're up to date on Play 2 UK.
If you want to increase your profits, go the extra mile for your customers, and bring loyalty to your business, then you need Play and Store. In-house or online, Play and Store is your personal, made-to-measure music and marketing tool. Using the latest technologies, you can create your own tailor-made music and messaging service, which until now has been unaffordable to everyone but the biggest businesses. Get more from your business by creating your own radio station. Go to playinstore.co.uk.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Single malt made the traditional way. Visit playradiouk.com and unlock the spirit of legend.
James Whale. If opinions count, this man must be a mathematical genius.
Right, welcome back to the James Whale Radio Show tonight, brought to you by Blackadder Single Speyside Malt Scotch Whisky. Luckily, Nick Pope isn't in the studio. He'd be drinking it all.
I would. It sounds rather nice. Can I have a freebie?
You can if you're the most interesting caller on the programme tonight or tomorrow, or the most interesting emailer. We're giving a bottle, and it's been in the bottle for 12 years.
Oh, I do like the 12-year stuff.
It was in the cask for about 20 years before that. It's nearly 59% proof, and it is delicious. Wow. And it's not your whiskey to gulp back, it's the whiskey to sip.
I like that.
Yes.
Now, without wanting to go down a whole rabbit hole, I don't know where you feel about the adding water thing, but that's always the debate, isn't it?
You should. This whiskey has sediment in the bottom of it. It's absolutely perfectly normal.
Right.
Because of the way that it has been distilled. That's the sign that this is the good stuff.
Ooh.
And as I say, they are our new sponsors and bring the programme to you. And may I say, it's a shame you can't all... It's all medicinal, of course.
Absolutely. No, I look forward to trying that.
Right, let's get back to this. So, Nick Pope is a UFO expert. He's, would you say you are a UFO... Well, you're the... When people leave where they used to work and they become consultants, you're now a UFO consultant, aren't you?
Well, I suppose so. But, I mean, I sort of think of myself more as actually a sort of freelance journalist and a writer and a media commentator. I mean, I
about UFOs?
Well, about UFOs, but actually about the unexplained more generally, about conspiracy theories.
All right, let's just finish off what we were talking about. RAF St Athan, which my mum used to live just along the coast from there in a place called Ogmore.
All right.
And I know that strip so well. And it's a flight off the Bristol Channel up to sort of big cliffs and then into the airbase. And I wonder what UFOs were doing around there.
I have no idea, but...
And why do they always go over military installations?
Well, I guess on that, if you wanted to look at the cutting edge of our technology, I guess military bases are probably good places to go.
Yeah. There's not a lot at St Athan, but still. Although I don't know, but talk about having... I shouldn't say this, should I? The locals were saying, they're gonna have stealth bombers based there. Oh, now I've said it.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
No, you went very quiet though, so obviously hit a nerve.
No, I'm out of the game now. I've been out for nearly 2 years, you know.
I know you have.
It's really kind of...
Doesn't time go? Yeah. So what do you think? You've no idea, but I mean, you must have given this quite a lot of thought. And the police and the MOD obviously putting out conflicting press reports doesn't fill you with confidence, does it?
It doesn't. It's almost like obviously there's huge interagency rivalry. I mean, that's one thing I've taken away from my 21 years of government service. It's basically they all hate each other.
Well, listen, I was doing something about my cancer charity for the BBC last week. And I was doing a bit for BBC TV News, and I was doing a bit for BBC Radio News, and I could not believe the time was encroaching one on the other, and they were all arguing with each other. No, we booked him. We'll have him now.
Oh, yes.
Well, can you just give us a couple of minutes? No, we booked. Just lighten up.
Well, absolutely. As you know, and we've discussed this. I mean, I know a few people who used to be in MI5, and they all hate Special Branch, and and MI5 hate MI6, and you know, these rivalries permeate government.
Well, that's no good for security of the country. Anyway, listen, that's another story.
Yes,
let's keep it to this. So, what do you think? I mean, obviously there was something there. It wasn't just one of these Chinese lights that the police or the RAF were chasing.
No, it clearly wasn't, and that's why I've called for an official inquiry into this, and I've called for the witnesses to be interviewed on the record. I've called particularly for the radar, both civil and the military radar tapes to be looked at properly, because I think that's going to be the key to this mystery.
Do you think, I mean, you know, you reckon that most of these things can be explained, but there is a small percentage that can't?
Yes.
Do you think this one will be easily explainable or not?
I honestly, I'm not sure. But, I mean, the point is, I think we should be asking the questions. And until the government does actually say, yes, actually, you know, when we've got the crew of a police helicopter coming into land at a military base saying we've seen a UFO, until they say, yeah, actually, we had better have a look at the radar and see what we think. I think it's all just speculation.
See, I did a little bit of research into this, and the pilot and co-pilot and whatever of the helicopter are nowhere, not that they're nowhere to be found, they're certainly not being allowed to talk to the media.
But that's standard practice.
Is it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, generally speaking, anyone in the military, the police, you know, any organisation like that is not allowed to talk to the media at all without authority from the chain of command. And of course, the whole business of the Turnhill Barracks sighting and the fact that Corporal Mark Proctor did speak out and actually passed the film footage of the UFO going over the base to the sun. I mean, the proverbial hit the fan. Absolutely. I cannot believe.
What happened to him? We don't know, because he's disappeared.
I can basically tell you this. He was not disciplined. That's my understanding. He was not disciplined, but under strict understanding that he was never to speak to the media again.
Hang on. How did you find out that he wasn't disciplined?
Well, you know, I'm still in the game a little bit.
Yeah, you shouldn't have told me that, should you?
Probably not, but you know, I think people can work out that if I've done 21 years somewhere, I'm still going to have my sources and my contacts.
Right.
I mean, basically, the bottom line is this guy spoke to the media. He probably shouldn't have done.
Well, he definitely shouldn't have done if he's a serving member of the forces.
He shouldn't have done. But they knew that actually, if they disciplined him, if they made an issue out of it, it could really have spiraled out of control. So basically, it was, look, you did wrong. Don't speak to the media again, and we won't do you.
And you didn't see anything anyway.
No. Absolutely. That's the way it works.
So what do you think? Yeah. So, and if we just hold that line long enough, people get bored and go on to another story. I've seen it countless times. And the only way you can really win in these things is you have to dig your heels in and not be put off. Because in all sorts of things like this, the people who are in control in a way stay in control because they can sit it out longer than anyone else.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Why? What do you think was at the back of this? I mean, did you manage to look at some of the evidence or not, or just what was in the papers?
No, just really what was in the papers. But I've been I've been working with the Sun over the course of the summer. They're genuinely interested in this. They're getting sent a lot of footage. They were the ones who broke this story, so that's one thing.
That's interesting because, you know, I bet before when you've been to speak to them, they'd probably say, oh, yeah, okay, well, we'll talk about it later.
To be fair, the Sun, I think, you know, the Sun are populist. I think they recognise that actually if people are talking about this in the pubs and clubs, which they are, you know, then they think, well, we should be talking about it too.
Okay, gut feeling, what was it?
No, absolutely no idea. You know, the one thing that I've learned in government service is that if ever you hear someone absolutely definitive on something, you know, be a little bit suspicious. When you hear someone say, I don't know, you actually think, that's interesting.
Okay.
And I don't know.
All right. This is an email sent to me by Mr. Green. Says, how about this one a few weeks ago? See what you think. And then he sent me a link to a story. Let me read you the story. A Penwitham family is appealing to people who may have seen a UFO in the skies above their home. The Beesons say they saw the strange object hovering above Crookings Lane, 11:15 p.m. on Sunday. Mum Catherine also claims that, as the craft hovered above, it projected an orange arch-shaped light shining on their conservatory roof. She said, I don't normally believe in things like this, but my 20-year-old daughter was shaking like a leaf. Somebody else must have seen something. My husband Nigel tried to get a photo, but it didn't come out. It had red and orange lights, and it was like a frisbee. It moved really quickly and was definitely not an aeroplane. We saw one about 10 minutes later, and we could see the difference. I just wonder if anybody on the plane saw it. There have been plenty of new UFO sightings around the UK over the past few months, including several in the northwest. One Lancashire Evening Post reader who photographed a funnel cloud also spotted an unidentified flying object alongside it over Scarisbrooke near Southport. Have you heard that story?
I have. There's a chap, I think you can probably Google this, called Pat Regan.
We'll just Google that now, shall we? Pat Regan.
Pat Regan,
okay.
R-E-G-A-N. He took. Do you remember that story about the twister, the kind of tornado?
Yeah.
And I think that was what your email was alluding to, and he saw a UFO close to that.
Well, this apparently hovered over their conservatory and looked like a frisbee, but it had orange. I often, when they have coloured lights like this, I wonder if it is some new technology that has been developed here.
Yes, and I mean, it's interesting. I mean, if you go onto the BBC website today and you put in the word invisibility.
Oh, I was going to talk to you about that in a minute.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'll find this, and you think, if scientists are dabbling now with this sort of stuff, you know, what might other people have?
Or even other beings.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, now I'm talking tomorrow night. I've got Richard Lawrence from the Aetherius Society. I'm sure you're familiar with Richard Lawrence.
Yes, I think I've met him a couple of times.
And he's on talking to me about this very subject tomorrow. They come to this from a completely different angle than you. They believe wholeheartedly in this, and they believe contact has been made. And he was talking to me today. I was chatting to him a bit about what we're going to do tomorrow, and he was talking to me today about now we are, in this country, experimenting with invisibility.
Yeah, and he's correct on that. It's on the BBC website as one of their top stories today.
And it must be true.
Yeah.
No, but
yeah, no, absolutely.
And we're not just talking. There was, of course, some while ago, people had tried to make cars, well, tanks, invisible by sticking loads of mirrors on them. But this isn't that at all, is it?
No, it's not. And I'm not a scientist, so I probably shouldn't really get into this.
But it's about reflecting lights, as far as I can see. Yeah.
All I'd say is that your listeners should if they want to find out more about this, go onto the BBC website and just put in the word invisibility. And actually, they probably don't even have to do that. I think it's still on the front page.
Well, have a look in a moment. I'm just getting it up in front of me. Mostly Russia and Georgia at the moment, of course.
Very sad situation.
Very, very sad. But how on earth Bush can suddenly turn and tell them to stop sticking their nose into other people's business, I have no idea. But I won't draw you on that, don't worry about it. Much as I'd love to.
No, I always have to be careful with my government background when I kind of discuss stuff like this.
Listen.
But yes, obviously every war is a very sad thing.
Let's get back to this. I mean, it would not now be difficult for people to imagine that if beings had worked out how to cross the galaxy, then they probably have worked out how to keep themselves hidden and invisible if we're beginning to be able to do it.
Well, absolutely.
I'm just looking at it on the front on the BBC website now. Fascinating. Scientists in the US say that they are a step closer to developing materials that could render people invisible.
Yeah.
Researchers at the University of California in Berkeley have developed a material that can bend light around 3D objects, making them disappear. The materials do not occur naturally, but have been created on a nanoscale, measured in billionths of a meter. The team says the principles could one day be scaled up to make invisibility cloaks large enough to hide people. Obviously, they'll be large enough to hide things, I would think, as well. The findings by scientists led by Zhang Shang were published in the journal Nature and Science. So these have been published. So this is proper serious stuff.
It is. I mean, this is the problem of living in the internet age. There is a lot of nonsense on the internet, but actually, sometimes when you get these stories on the BBC website and when they refer you back to kind of peer-reviewed scientific publications, actually this stuff is happening for real. And I think this is very important.
They talk about this as being developed through nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is going to enable us to do things now that we never dreamed possible some years ago.
Sure.
Possibly even move from one level of existence to another.
Well, yes, and of course one of the other very, very interesting things happening, and I think we've spoken about this before, is the Large Hadron Collider.
Listen, let me take another commercial break and then come back and let's talk about the Hadron experiment, which of course has moved on a pace since we talked about it last time.
Sure.
Okay, don't go away, Nick. Nick Pope back with me right after these words.
Sunday night just got better on Play 2 UK.
Hello there, this is Sean Williamson. All right then, it's Barry from EastEnders.
Don't you ever shut your great big fat cake-hole up.
If you're listening to me now, that means you've missed me. But don't worry, yes, you can hear me again at playradiouk.com/podcast.
Hershey's Half Hour. 30 minutes of top-flight entertainment expertly crammed into 2 hours. Sundays from 4 on Play 2 UK.
Ellington Lodge Hotel at the Concord Club, a unique place to stay. Set in quiet woodland near Lakeside Country Park, Ellington Lodge is ideally suited whether your stay is for business or pleasure. Our Mouldy Fig Wine Bar offers a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere, serving food, wines and local real ales, with live jazz music 3 nights a week and alfresco dining in the summer months. Visit our website, theconcordclub.com, for further details.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Mouth-watering malt straight to your door. Visit playradiouk.com and set your taste buds free.
If silence is golden, then treasure seekers need seek elsewhere. For here's one golden oldie that will never be silenced. James Whale.
Can I just say that Mendoza is a lot older than me? Okay, and a lot bigger. He's here on Wednesday. Right, listen, just before we go on, back with Mr. Nick Pope, incredible Nick Pope, We've had a few people. I'm giving away a bottle of Blackadder whiskey tonight and tomorrow night on the show. Blackadder, of course, our new sponsors, and we're very glad to have them with us. Mr. Blackadder, thank you for that. Lovely whiskey, may I say. I haven't allowed the princess here who's producing the programme, Princess Chav, to taste it because, quite frankly, it will be wasted on him. But
Here we go again.
well, you know, you drink cheap lager. 11 o'clock at night, he gets a bottle. He gets a can of lager, and he sits here with a can of lager every night I've done this show.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there's a lot wrong.
Do you have a glass of wine sometimes before you come down here?
No, absolutely not. Ian Buchanan has emailed me. Now, listen, not everybody is going to be able to win this, and he says, how do I buy a bottle of Blackadder raw cask whiskey? My dad's a Scotsman and appreciates his good Scots whiskey. It's his 62nd birthday next month, and this seems like a great gift for him. When I go to Playradio site, and then the Blackadder site, the shop doesn't appear to be selling bottles.
Oh.
I'm probably being blind, but could you tell me where I can buy a bottle?
Well, that's the way you go. You go via our website to the Blackadder site.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Go to the Blackadder site, send them an email saying you want to buy a bottle of whiskey, and get back in touch with me, Ian, and tell me what they say. All right? Go to our website, link through to Blackadder's site, and you should be able to get one there. And really, you should all... In fact, we're looking at it now. The Pure Spirit of Legend. Have a little look. Go to links, maybe.
Let's have a look at the Blackadder raw cask. Let's
Okay.
click on there.
Yeah. Oh, that looks good. I wish, you know, if Mr. Pope was here, I'd let him sniff mine.
I think the best advice I
Who
could
are?
I think the best advice I could give, because it doesn't look obvious as to where you can buy one with a credit card, let's say, would be to go to the Contact Us link on the Blackadder site, which you get through playradiouk.com, and then you can send them an email or give them a call. There's a United Kingdom office, so send them an email asking how you go about buying one, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you out.
Okay. Right. Thank you for that, Ian. If you can't get one, let me know. Anybody else, go to our website, playradiouk.com. Check it out. Buy yourself a bottle of Blackadder whiskey, and you will be glad you did. Mr. Pope, after the chat, I think you should get over there.
Yes, it sounds good.
Oh, you should see it. It's lovely. Right. Now, let's talk about the Hadron... what's it called?
The Large Hadron Collider.
All right. Why the large? Is there a small one?
Well, there sort of is, but this is CERN's new particle accelerator, and it is the largest machine ever built on this planet.
Now, it's built underground.
Yes.
In Switzerland.
It actually, I think it straddles Switzerland and France as well. It's that big.
How long is it then?
Oh God, zillions of kilometers.
Really?
Yeah.
I just thought it was about a kilometre.
No, it's huge. It is the largest machine ever built on the face of this planet.
Now, let me get this right. They've put this underground. Is that right?
Yes.
So it's underground, under Switzerland and part of France.
Yes.
And it's a tunnel. But it goes right round and comes back to where it begins.
Exactly. And basically what it does is it smashes particles against each other to try to recreate some of the conditions that existed in the Big Bang.
How far along this line? I mean, they were going to bring us some kind of results around about this time, I thought.
Yes, there have been a couple of technical difficulties, but I don't think that's surprising given that this is literally the biggest machine ever constructed on this planet.
Now, didn't they have... This is the machine that we talked about before, where they had to actually fill out a report to actually say how likely it was they'd destroy the world.
Yes, yes. There
Health
were
and
some
safety
people,
gone mad.
I think it probably was. There were some people who said, look, this could bring about the end of the world. you're smashing particles, subatomic particles together at sort of fractions of the speed of light. Maybe you'll create a mini black hole. Maybe you'll do this, maybe you'll do that. Actually, I think that was probably kind of conspiracy theorists going a little bit sort of off the deep end. But it is the biggest machine, ever constructed by humankind. It is attempting to answer the most fundamental questions that we can ask ourselves about the Big Bang, dark matter, hidden dimensions. This is absolutely as good as it gets.
Okay, and what do you think they're not going to, hopefully, we don't know, because this sort of thing has never been tried before. And
no, it hasn't.
The possibility is that they will unlock science that we are completely unaware of, which is what happened just before the computer age.
Absolutely. What they're saying is that this machine may literally give us an insight into, I guess, what Stephen Hawking would call, the mind of God.
Okay. When do you think we'll find out? I mean, they probably won't tell us until they've analysed all their experimentation. I was on the NASA website the other day, and I'm just wondering how much stuff they're getting sent back from, if in fact it's actually coming from Mars. I wonder how much stuff they're actually getting that we don't see.
Well, they have to be careful, and that's an interesting thing. You've raised a really interesting point, and of course, the astronaut Edgar Mitchell has made some very provocative statements in the last couple of weeks, sort of saying, UFOs. Only 12 people have walked on the surface of the moon,
and all of them are supposed to have gone a bit funny.
Well, I think something like that inevitably changes you. And he said, UFOs are real. The government knows that they're real. They're covering it up. Then you had the whole business.
What do you think prompted him to say that? I mean, apart from the fact it's true, but I mean, apart from that, why did he suddenly say it?
I don't know, but one of the other interesting things that happened at the same time was that the Vatican's chief astronomer, and that's interesting in itself that they even have one, sort of made a very provocative public statement saying, if we find extraterrestrial life, nothing will be incompatible with, religion.
What the reason they've got one there is because they're absolutely shit scared that if they get to a situation where there are aliens, they're going to say they want to claim them for themselves. These are Christian aliens. Hang on, guys, these are Christian aliens. All right, I want you to know these are Christian aliens.
Sent from God.
Sent from God. On the other hand, they could be Muslim, aliens. You've got to be careful about this.
Well, absolutely, but I mean, it's just, to me, it's so interesting that the Vatican's chief astronomer would say what he said, and again, it's not some sort of bonkers internet conspiracy theory. It's absolutely verifiable and checkable.
What you're talking on the one hand about bonkers conspiracy theories, and then you're talking about religion. I can't find this. In my mind, this is anyway. Listen, we won't go there for the moment. I know you want to get married. Malcolm Beckinsale has emailed me. He said, James, I wonder if Nick Pope has heard of Dr. Jan Pajek. I wonder if I
terribly sorry to say that I haven't.
His paper on the Magna craft is far too comprehensive not to have come from alien sources. He reckons the reason for not having clear pictures is because of the magnetic lens the proposition system generates. Could email you the article if you want. Regards, Malcolm. Yeah, email me the article, Malcolm.
Okay, I'm afraid that one must have passed me by.
I haven't seen that either. What are we expecting then from all this? I mean, there has been an enormous amount of UFO activity, UFO stories, not least the Pope getting in on it as well. We've talked about this over the years, you and me. And we've often said, you know, from the time when Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out, I think we talked about, is this the time? Are we being softened up? Are they going to tell us something?
We probably did, and the other thing that's, of course, happened this summer is that the new X-Files movie has come out. And, you know, again, I think people have sort of said, is this part of the process? And I've seen, actually, funnily enough, I went, nice story, actually, I went to the X-Files premiere.
Did you?
Leicester Square, red carpet.
Hang on. You got no friends. How come you didn't invite me?
Oh, very sorry about that. I thought you might have gotten in through your own contacts.
No, you know, UFOs, I expect you to give me all the contacts.
Oh, sorry about that. I you know, went to the X-Files premiere, and I thought it was a fantastic movie, actually.
Yeah? Did you? But only because you've been sort of modelling yourself on Mulder.
Well, and I met David Duchovny.
Yeah, he used to be in a very naughty little series called The Red Shoe Diaries.
I've heard of it. I haven't actually seen it.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah, I used to love The Red Shoe Diaries.
Well, can I tell you, my friend Henry Cobold wrote that and produced it.
Oh, right. Is he not now in this other thing called Californication?
Californication, yeah, he is. Not
Right.
Henry, no.
But yeah, I met him. We went to the X-Files premiere a couple of weeks ago, and it was really funny. I just went to the. I took a facility break, as they say.
You went to have a piss?
Yeah. And I came back, and the two young ladies who...
Hang on, you went to the bog with two young ladies. You really are. You know, after all your years in the Ministry of Defence, I mean, this takes the biscuit.
I'm going to have to choose my words carefully. Suffice to
Have
say...
another sip of Pinot Grigio. It's getting to where it should get.
Well, when I came back, they were chatting up David Duchovny. And, but I got to chat to David, really nice guy. Chris Carter, again. And the movie, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Do you, I mean, did it sort of set any questions? Are people going to be saying, hey, I wonder?
Well, you know, I think the X-Files has kind of, it's almost become part of popular culture. And certainly, you know, seeing that movie and the new movie kind of, you know, sort of returns to the darker days of the X-Files and when it was into to sort of darker, more spooky stuff.
I'll tell you what I saw the other day. I saw War of the Worlds for the second time.
Oh, really?
It is a bloodthirsty film, isn't it?
Oh, what, the one with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gruesome.
That's a good movie, too. That was on the TV.
That is gruesome.
And the other thing I saw, I saw Dark Knight, the new Batman movie.
Haven't seen that either.
Go and see it.
Is it
honestly.
good? Yeah. Apparently it's a more adult movie than a kid's movie.
Very much so. The new Batman movie, Dark Knight, the new X-Files movie, I Want to Believe. I mean, these are the classic must-see movies of the summer. I mean, they're brilliant. They really are.
Good, okay.
But they're quite dark.
Now you're trying to throw me off the scent. Right, to conclude, nearly an hour we've been on talking about this. Yeah. To conclude, are we ever going to know, or not? Is this just a happy coincidence of all these sightings and publicity and everything else, or is there genuinely stuff that we will find out? What do you think?
I think we will find proof, absolutely proof positive. I suspect it will come through radio astronomy. I suspect that you know, somebody saying, I was out walking my dog and I saw a, you know, bright light in the sky, that's not going to cut the mustard. Bottom line is, it's going to take something tracked on radar, photographed by the military, or kind of, you know, detected on NASA's new super-duper kind of radio telescopes. And I think that's going to be it. If you remember the movie Contact, it's all about radio astronomy. I think that's how we're going to find out whether we're alone or not in the universe.
Do you think we'll find out sooner rather than later?
They're building something called Square Kilometre Array, the biggest radio telescope ever constructed, the biggest machine ever conceived of. It's going to take about 10 or 12 years to even build. When they've got this up and running, that's going to tell us whether or not we're alone.
All right, mate. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, great to talk to you again. Let's speak soon.
We're not alone, are we?
No, I don't think we are.
Thanks, Mr. Nick Pope and the world of the UFOs. If you've got anything you would like to... why do I keep doing that tonight?
I don't know.
No, I don't. If there's anything you'd like to add, please give us a ring. 01243 55 60 60, 01243 55 60 60. Email us at studio@playradiouk.com. I'm James Well. Well, we don't take a break there, do we?
We can do if you like. 2
Okay.
minutes too, yeah.
No, well, we're 2 minutes too. Thanks very much indeed, Nick. Nice to talk to you. Let me remind you that, of course, we're giving away, here we are, we're giving away a bottle of Blackadder single malt whiskey tonight and tomorrow night from our sponsor to the James Well Radio Show, sponsored by Blackadder single malt whiskey. Made how malt whiskey should be made, and delicious. And if you would like to buy yourself a bottle of whiskey, then all you have to do is go to our website and follow the links to Blackadder.
That's right. You go to playradiouk.com and there's a sign on there that says Blackadder. You click on that, that'll take you to the Blackadder website. Then you click on the Friends link. And
Your microphone is not working. You know, I was just fiddling around here thinking...
Push the on button, James. You've not pushed the on button. Okay.
Oh, good. Now I know. Listen, very good. So I'll turn that off.
You go to playradiouk.com, click on the Blackadder sign, and when you're on their site, you go to Friends, and then click on the flag for the country, and then the contact details are listed for that country.
All right.
And then you basically get in contact with them and order yourself some whiskey. And Robin from Blackadder would like to say he's experienced 3 years in a row of top awards in the independent international blind whiskey tastings carried out by the Malt Maniacs.
Again, I say I'm not surprised, Robin. I am not surprised.
Have you opened yours now?
Could have done.
Oh, I see.
But I'd like another one if I have. I want one, Robin, just to keep. I have opened it. But I want one just to keep. Your cans can't be very loud because you can't tell whether your microphone's on or not. You can't even hear me, can you?
Sorry, I'm just finishing off reading the email.
All right, okay. This is from Michelle. Why is Michelle called Andy Bruce? I read the email and I thought, that's nice. And then I saw at the top, it's from Andy Bruce. It says, James, I've been searching for you for bloody ages. Now my dreams have come true as I've just logged on to the camera of you. Please stand up and give a twirl. Missed you, but now you're back. Okay, hang on.
Okay. Fun.
All right, there we are. Okay, thanks. All right. So, that's it. I don't think I can watch the webcam all night, as I might go into a frenzy. I am happy to call in and sing to you, though. Love, best of luck with the show, Michelle. But it comes from the email of Andy Bruce. What a shame. If it was Michelle, she can ring up and sing. Michelle Marvell. How did that go? Who had a hit with that?
Michelle Marvell.
Yeah, I was in Marvell.
It was Marvell.
Marvell.
Marvell, is it?
Sunk.
Was it? It wasn't he.
Who sang it? The Beatles?
No.
No? Sasha Distel.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh. Break time.
Have you not heard of Sasha Distel? Was it Sasha Distel?
I think the Who question mark gave it away after you said the name.
What?
Sasha Distel. I said who?
Sasha Distel?
I've never heard of.
You've never heard of the legendary Sasha Distel?
No.
The French singer?
No.
Is it? Have I got the name?
The one that did.
It's a bloke.
Oh, okay. There you go. So proving the point.
Oh, you are so thick.
Here at Play Radio UK, we're dedicated to providing you with a fully interactive website and music service. Choose from 11 stations playing all kinds of music 24 hours a day. While away the hours with loads of games in the playground. Interact with other users and find answers to all your technical problems in the forums. Find out who's on when, what we're up to and what we look like. Although some of us are more photogenic than others. PlayRadioUK.com. Internet radio, your way. Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play 2 UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Single malt made the traditional way. Visit playradiouk.com and unlock the spirit of legend.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
That was my impersonation of Mr. Mendoza. He's here Wednesdays, Thursdays. I'm here Monday and Tuesday. Won't be in next week. I'm moonlighting next week. But Mr. Ian Lee and Mr. Tommy Boyd will be looking after the programme as well next week, so don't miss that. Now, here we are, the James Whale Radio Show. It's on the air tonight, Monday night. We talked to Nick Pope. What are you doing? I don't like it when you go behind me.
Sorry.
Nick Pope about UFOs. We've been talking about, obviously, the threat of war. Well, the actual war between Russia and Georgia. We've been talking about various other things as well. Do you want me to say this? Do you want me to talk about this in a minute?
At some point, I would be lovely if you could.
Okay, all right.
And of course, we've got the whiskey competition.
Oh yeah, I'm just about to do that. Thank you very much indeed. He's taking his job as a producer very seriously tonight, and quite rightly too. Right, so welcome to the James Whale Radio Show. If you want to join me tonight, the number to ring 01243. Write this down so I don't have to keep saying it. 01243 55 60 60. 01243 55 60 60. Email us at studio@playradiouk.com. Studio@playradiouk.com. And if you're one of those very technical people, like Vicky was, you can, and even the caller, you could Skype me at play.radio.uk. So either way, I'm here already, waiting to hear your calls. Water's going up. Can't call black coffee black anymore. And the Beijing Olympics, well, a bit dull, isn't it? Every morning you turn the telly on, it's on BBC. Well, why not just put it on a sports channel? Leave it there. Not everybody's interested in the Olympics. So certainly, I don't think the Olympics are going to do us any good at all. Right. We are giving away a bottle of Blackadder Scotch whisky tonight to the most entertaining contributor to the programme. Could be an email, could be a Skype call, could be a phone call, could be anything. And one of you is going to get it. If you want to get your own Blackadder whiskey, our sponsor, then go to our website, Play Radio UK, and you can find out there. Now, Play Radio UK have teamed up with the Beachdown Festival in Brighton to give you the opportunity to win a pair of tickets to one of the most prestigious festivals of the South Coast. From Friday the 22nd to Monday the 25th of August, Devil's Dyke in Brighton plays host to the fun-loving Criminals. De La Soul, Jose Gonzalez, Reverend and the Makers of the Magic Numbers, and Play One's Matt Holick.
Hello.
Matt Horlicks would be better.
Thank you.
Full weekend pass is priced at £85, but if you're quick, you can get a limited number of early bird tickets priced at £75. Go down to, don't even go down there yet. Go to beachdownfestival.com. That's all you've got to do. For more info, that's beachdownfestival.com. Play Radio have 2 pairs of weekend camping passes to give away. And to get your hands on them, all you have to do is answer this simple question. Which Brighton DJ and former bassist for the House Martins hosts a party on Brighton Beach every year? Email your answer along with your name, telephone number and address to studio@playradiouk.com. Winners will be announced on air on Friday the 15th of August. So, Holly, what are you doing? Are you getting paid? Is it a freebie or are you getting paid?
No comment.
Why?
Because it's complicated.
No.
I am getting paid, but not in cash and not in kind, before you say.
But if you don't get cash or kind, what can you get?
Well, basically, I wanted AAA access all areas passes so I can go and hang out with the fun-loving criminals in De La Soul and get some cheeky interviews and party all night with the stars. It's going to be a nice festival, though.
He's getting a wad of cash. That's what he's getting, a wad of cash off the organisers.
I'm DJing for an hour and a half. I'm warming up for Radio 1's Kissy Sellout.
Are you? Are you going to wear something other than chav clothes or not? Are you going to go chavvy?
I'm going to dress as you, James.
Okay, well, that at least will improve your look. And I think if you can carry it off, it's a difficult look to carry off, but if you can carry it off, good luck to you, sir. Good luck to you.
All I need is one of those polo shirts your wife doesn't like.
Yeah, well, I'm not wearing one tonight, so you'll be right. Right, okay, listen, if you want to join us, 01243 55 60 60. I saw a couple of calls. We've got to line up a couple of them mad people calling in.
Probably mad people.
Okay, right, now, we hear about the councils restricting the amount... This is from Steve, by the way. We hear about the councils restricting the amount of parking spaces in our towns, cities, villages, wherever, on environmental grounds. Makes me wonder whether anybody has calculated the carbon footprint of driving around town to find somewhere to park, both in terms of your own extra mileage and the extra congestion which it causes. Stevie, you are so right. Do you know, Steve, I like that one as well. I'm going to put that forward to the possible winner of the Blackadder whiskey. But you are so right. But let me just tell you this. Unless they are even thicker than I thought, and that is possible, people who inhabit your town, village and city halls are thick. They obviously do think that they can save the planet by harassing the motorist. It won't work. And you know, you're absolutely right. The more they make it difficult for us to go into town, and I go into town because I have to, not for fun, because I need to go there. And I go at different times of the day when it isn't convenient for me to take a train. What?
You're not meant to go what? You're meant to see the sign and carry on.
Don't look at me, I'm busy talking. Shut up. Terry in Denby. Hi, Terry, I can see you. I'm going to talk to you in a minute. Wave, Terry. No, wave, Terry. You can't hear me.
He'll be a little bit behind until he switches his media player off.
All right, okay. There he is, he's making faces. I'll talk to Terry and I can see him. Good picture.
Would you like a coffee?
I would. Black. No
black
sugar.
Coffee.
Black
I'll make
coffee.
you one when we've got Terry sorted out.
Right, okay. Can I go on with what I was saying?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you. Now, this whole idea that we're going to save the planet if we don't drive our cars is absolute bollocks, and I'm getting fed up with it. In the same way that they think they can browbeat you by what you do with your rubbish. Now, I do believe that we shouldn't continually be throwing as much stuff as we do away, because we haven't got anywhere to put it. But I think we should be building huge incinerators, and as long as they are incinerators which will also produce energy, I don't see a problem with that. Modern incinerators look quite nice. They don't belch out any kind of smoke or whatever. It's all sort of confined within it and turns it into power. It's fine. No problem. In fact, that's much better than anything else. But, you know, they've got these little tin pot Hitlers have got a little more power here, and they just have to start saying, oh, it's green, it's ecological, right. It's not. It's bollocks. All right? It isn't going to make any difference to the planet, you or me. So I think we all just have to tell them that. And the stupidity of these green cars, which apparently take far more of the world's resources to build, and don't, you know, they don't save. And they're terrible things. Have you ever been in one of these Priuses? Oh, they make you feel sick. They do me anyway. They cost an arm and a leg, and quite frankly, it doesn't sound like a car. When it's going slowly, it's like a milk float. I don't want to drive a milk float. If I ever drive an electric car, I'm going to have a cassette or a tape or a CD or whatever it is at the time, stick it in with the sound of an engine. Or I'm going to put the window down and I'm going to go, at traffic lights. Right, okay, let's do some calls. Terry and Denby. Hi, Terry.
Hiya, James.
How are you, Tel?
Can you hear me? I'm fine.
Oh, dear, you...
Can you hear me, James?
Yeah,
He needs to put some headphones in.
You need to put headphones on. We can't talk to you like that. You're feeding back.
I'll get back to you, James.
All right. It's a nice hat, by the way, Terry. Let's have a look underneath. What have you got underneath in the way of hair? Oh, no, put the hat back on, Terry. The hat's better. I thought it was, what's his name from AC/DC. Looks like Brian Johnson from AC/DC. Get back to me and get a pair of headphones on there. We can talk. What does the T-shirt? I wish you could see this at home. You see, I can, because if you have a webcam, the interesting...
West Ham.
Oh, West Ham. Very nice. Okay. Yes. Get back to me soon. Come on, Terry. Sit there grinning at me. Get.
He's not making a move for his headphones, is he?
Make a move for the headphones, Tel. He's got all this technology going on. Then we can talk, mate. Actually, even if you've got a webcam and you haven't got a Skype phone, you can still ring on the ordinary phone. You can talk to me and still I can still see you. So if when you have a webcam on your computer, and if you go to NTTBS, click on watch, if there's space there, you can see the program in real time. I'm not doing an awful lot. I'm just, just the camera's on me is sort of what they call a headshot. I suppose if we could put it down, we could get a bit of a mid shot going on here. Yeah, more like that. Oh, that's okay, isn't it? I can see the back of my head here. It's quite useful. I shaved it yesterday.
We're still waiting for Terry to get his headphones. He's just sitting there. He's not getting headphones.
Terry, why aren't you getting your headphones on?
I'm going to... Can you hear me, James?
Yeah, but very badly, Terry, because we need you to get your headphones on.
I'm going to get back to you on the main line.
Well, okay. Give us a ring on the main line, then. Do it now, because we can't really... That's it. But I was enjoying looking at him.
Really?
Well, no, it was quite funny. I wondered what was going on there. Now, John Hammond down there. Can you see him? Did we... Right at the bottom there, John Hammond.
Down here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at the wrong thing.
Am I?
Yeah.
All right, I thought he was going to be on next. Right, okay. Let's go back. This is Debbie. Hello, Debbie. She emailed me, and she said, hi, Whaley, it's good to hear you again. Hope you're well. Big hug and big smackaroonie. Like you have been watching some of the Olympics, but it is all tarnished by the obscene amount of money spent and the fact that people were chucked out of their homes and have not been compensated. The opening ceremony left me cold. Ants came to mind. Who in their right mind is going to take on the Ruskies? A couple of things, Debbie, you're right. Unfortunately, more and more bloodshed in the world being caused, I'm afraid, by stupidity. The most stupid thing of all, apart from the unfortunate deaths that have been occurring, is the fact that the Americans turn around and say, and Cheney says, Russians are going to have to be sorted out for this. I'd like to see him try. But the Americans turn around and say, stop sticking your nose into other people's business. Never mind. Okay, right. 01243 55 60 60. If you can tear yourselves away from your computers and give me a phone call. We like to hear your voices. I mean, I know everybody really wants to. It's easy when you're just listening to the programme on the computer just to sort of type me off an email. What's all this? No photographs have come up.
No, but the text still makes sense, basically. It's about that guy in America, the
Sheriff Joe.
Yeah.
Apiro. We had him on one of my old programmes. He's the county sheriff in Arizona.
Sheriff Joe Apiro.
And he believes, like me, in flogging and all that sort of. He never gets people reoffending because they don't ever want to go back. Is the phone Führer doing anything tonight or not?
He is, yeah. He's doing something right now.
Good.
Sizemore on Skype.
I'm just having something to eat.
Okay.
Well, there's no need to do that.
So,
I was hungry.
Did you hear me say you got a Skype call? You did, okay.
I was just thinking, to go with the Blackadder Scotch Whisky, fantastic sponsor. We need a pizza place.
Yeah.
Late night pizza place is a sponsor too. Then we could have pizzas in here and whiskey. We could have just so much fun.
Mm.
Do you think he's got his Do you think he's got his stuff working tonight or not?
Who?
Sizemore.
Oh, well, I hope
Yeah.
so.
Hello, Sizemore.
Hello, James. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. There's a wee bit of lag there, but it's okay. Can I make a comment about Georgia and Russia?
Yeah, go on.
Georgia fired the first shot, and this has been orchestrated by the New World Order to have a new Cold War, so that Russia can make sure that they have a land passage to Iran, so that America cannot attack them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say.
What led you to... I was eating. I thought you were going to talk longer.
Well, I go mainly on the alternatives, seeing what's really happening and what's being reported in the mainstream media. And Georgia's not being reported properly. I mean, Georgia is the aggressor. Now, why would such a small country attack the likes of Russia, for goodness sake?
Well, they weren't, were they? I mean, the whole thing is that it's everybody sticking their noses into other people's business. But you're right, I think. I mean, the New World Order want to control the world. If you read the websites and if you look at the... what we should do is we should maybe tomorrow call up David Icke, because David Icke would have an angle on this that'd be worth hearing, I think. I suppose you might be right. I mean, maybe Russia does want to be able to get straight to Iran if necessary. But I can't see America really having any reason to invade anyone else. And to be honest with you, it beggars belief. I said before, when America starts telling everybody you can't invade... America has done nothing but invade other countries, as far as I can see.
Absolutely true.
And now is planning invasions of Iran, but I don't think they're going to do it because I think the world opinion has turned against them. I think they're quite shocked about the fact that world opinion has turned against them. But I think America has nothing really going for it at the moment, as far as respect from other parts of the world is concerned. I think America has generally lost its respect. And maybe if Russia knew that, I agree, if Russia knew that, maybe they wouldn't be trying this hard. Perhaps if Russia realized how a lot of the world feels about America, they might not be trying quite this hard.
Well, when America threatens to place missiles on the border of Russia, Russia's quite entitled to do the same. But I would disagree with you insofar as America will not invade Iran. They will attack, but they will not invade.
Well, I hope they don't attack, quite frankly, because if this carries on, the world will just disappear. Never mind worrying about, environmental issues. We'll all be blown to smithereens anyway.
Absolutely. For the first time in my life, I'm 55 years of age, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually scared.
Well, don't be. Because we're all going to die anyway, so I wouldn't be too scared about it.
Well, I'm worried about my two children. I'm not worried about myself. But the megalomaniacs who are in charge of America at the moment are
that's a good point. That is a good point. Okay, thanks, Sizemore. We'll talk later. Thank you very much indeed. If you want to join us, 01243 55 60 60. Terry, I've got you there.
Hello, James.
Yeah, Terry, stay there, mate, and I'll come back. I'm going to talk to you in just a couple of minutes.
Play 2 UK headlines.
The cost of living's going up again. Now running a bath or doing the washing up is about to get more expensive as water prices are put up. As violence continues in South Ossetia, a war of words is emerging between Georgia and Russia. Russian President Dmitry Medvedev says the military operation is almost over, but Georgia's Mikhail Saakashvili claims it's still pouring extra troops and tanks into the region. Health bosses have apologized to a man whose lung was removed by mistake because he'd been been wrongly diagnosed with cancer. Lawrence Ball from Shetland says it's ruined his life and is now launching legal action. And Britain's gold medal winning swimmer Rebecca Adlington is being tipped for more success at the Olympics. After winning the 400 metres freestyle, she's now focusing on the 800 metres, her stronger event.
Play 2 UK weather.
Okay, well, it's not going to be very good tonight. I can tell you that, unfortunately. Light rain in places, but as the night progresses, a band of very heavy rain will move northeastwards across southern and western parts of England, Wales and Northern Ireland. It's going to be wet. Later tomorrow, heavy rain continuing northwards through northern England and eventually southern Scotland. But sunshine and showers will follow across England and Wales, northern Scotland, and I'll do that again. Sunshine and showers will follow across England and Wales. Northern Scotland, however, will have isolated showers and be very windy in places. So there we are.
You're up to date on Play 2 UK.
Hello, this is Mike Mendoza inviting you to join me here on Play 2 UK between 8 and midnight on Wednesday and Thursday. Well, this Wednesday is my very first. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be a few frolics around the place. I just say frolics, didn't I? Yeah. We can be serious. I can be mean. I can be nasty. I love you, really. You know that, don't you? Well, joining me, one of my old mates. It's Bevsy the Gadget Detective. You can join me from 9 o'clock on Wednesday here on Play 2 UK between 8 and midnight. Don't miss it.
What is she like, eh?
Yeah, she's mad, isn't she?
Yeah, always on for a laugh when we go on holiday. I didn't think she'd actually do it, though, did you?
No way.
So how much did they say the hospital bill was going to be? I don't understand the Spanish.
About 15 grand.
Right. Hello, Mrs. Draper, it's Stacey. It's about Vicky. She had an accident in the hotel. She should be okay, but there's going to be a big bill from the hospital. You know that car Mr. Draper was thinking about?
It can be a real problem if things go wrong on holiday, and an expensive one too. So if you're going on holiday with your mates this year, make sure you know about everything you need before you go. Visit fco.gov.uk/travel for more information.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies for discerning drinkers the world over. Visit us at playradiouk.com and discover the pure spirit of legend.
James Wales. They can take the man off the radio, but they can't take the voice off air.
So we're letting Mendoza loose on Wednesday and Thursday. He's joining us here at Play Radio UK. Look forward to that. He's going to bring all his old friends with him as well. And he'll be doing what only Mendoza does. Now, listen, if you want to join us on air, 01243 55 60 60, whether it's me, Mendoza, or anyone else here, you can give us a call and have a chat. Terry's done that. Hi, Terry. Where are you calling from?
France.
France. Of course you are, France.
Yeah.
I should know that.
You saw me on the webcam earlier, James.
I know, and I love the hat, Terry.
I put the hat on because I know you've got a couple of Stetsons.
I have.
Mine actually isn't a proper Stetson because it was made in France and I bought it in France.
Yeah, and
for a Stetson to be a Stetson, it has to be made in America.
It does. It has to have.
Mine is a sort of imitation.
Yeah. Do you know, I bought all my Stetsons in France, but they were made in America.
Were they?
Mm.
Oh,
so why can't I see you on the webcam now?
I'm calling you on the landline now.
Yeah, I see, but can't you still have the webcam on?
I don't know.
Okay. I thought you could, as long as the sound was turned down on it. You would have been able to.
Well, you can. I'm not sure, James. Yeah. Let's just click on it and see.
You'll have to experiment a bit. Let's have a look.
Yeah. It's coming up now. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Have you got me there?
No, I haven't got you at the moment. Hang on.
No.
I haven't got control of that screen, so when I get Matthias Rose back in here, I'll get him to click. So leave it up, and we'll see if it works in a minute. Nothing. It should be coming on my inbox, but it's not.
Right.
So just leave it up.
I'll get back to you another time, because I've got some headphones here somewhere. I'll find them tomorrow.
Yeah, you're a bit unorganised, aren't you, Terry, to be honest?
Well, I've always been like that, James.
Have you?
Yeah. When I did my degree, my tutors always used to say that they used to put on my essays, good essay, but
shame about the face.
Very tangentially.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, it means my ideas are flying around all over the place.
Well, that's like me. I can never control myself. I go from one thing to another.
Last week, I mentioned that I had a couple of relatives in prison, and you said straight away that I shouldn't boast about that. Remember?
Vaguely. It's a long time ago last week, but yeah, go on. If you have got friends in prison, no, you shouldn't be boasting about it.
No, but they're relatives, actually. But I think what I wasn't boasting. I mean, why would anybody boast about that?
I've no idea.
But I think what I was doing really is celebrating the fact that I'm not in there with them.
Oh, I see. Right. And what
there's a sort of thin line between boasting and celebrating, isn't there?
Is it likely then that you could have gone in there?
Well, absolutely, because as a teenager, I mean, I got into a lot of trouble with the police, and I come from a family of crooks, and I'm very lucky that I never.
Where were you brought up?
West Ham.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But I was very lucky not to go down that road, so I think I was really celebrating.
Well, I think in the East End of London, it's probably like that all over the place in major cities. If you're in a certain area where you are and you want to break out of it, you've got a couple of choices: sport, crime, or showbiz.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we would, as a teenager, I would never have thought of sort of doing any sort of exams to get a job that way, you know.
Well, I don't think exams.
The only way out for me, I thought at the time, was sort of show business, and I learned to play the guitar.
And did you play it professionally?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Who with?
Well, my only claim to fame really is I did a couple of seasons at Glen Eagles Hotel.
What did you play?
Guitar.
No. I know what instrument, Terry. What sort of songs did you play?
Well, this was in the 1970s, and the people used to go into the dining room at 8 o'clock, and then after dinner they'd come into the lounge for dancing. So we played dance music from 9 until midnight.
Sorry, I was just having a swig.
Hello.
I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. Anyway, and I did a session with Rolf Harris as well, about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And
that was my Rolf Harris impersonation. Wasn't good, but it wasn't bad, was it?
But anyway, I think I'm boring you now, James, aren't I?
No, I'm fine. Are you watching me on webcam? I'm just sort of just chilling. I can't. Some nights I can find a comfortable spot to sit in, and I can't find one tonight.
Yeah, no, I haven't got you there at the moment. But I am a bit disorganised tonight. But the other thing you said last week, James, was that I said in passing that I'm a very sort of open sort of person, that I'm true to my wife, and I always have been.
Yeah.
And then you you said I'm lying.
Did I?
Well, I mean, don't you think it's possible for a bloke to be faithful to his wife?
Absolutely.
But you don't.
No, not with you. No, I don't think so. No.
Now this is interesting. Now, why is that?
I don't know. Something about your voice. Something about the. Yeah. Why am I? Do I?
But aren't you?
Have I unsettled you?
Aren't you stereotyping there?
No, I'm just talking about you. I'm not stereotyping you with anyone. I'm just, you get an impression of somebody when you're talking to them, don't you, Terry?
Well, they're a bit of a Jack the Lad.
Well, something's interesting about you somewhere. You've taken yourself away, hidden yourself in the middle of France. You're writing books, and something somewhere. I mean, I don't know. Have you escaped from justice? I'm beginning to wonder now. I mean, did you do a huge robbery and you're hanging out there under a nom de plume?
Well, let's get back to the what we were talking about just now, James.
You're changing the subject now, you see. So I'm obviously getting fairly close.
But James, why would somebody, going back to being faithful to your wife, why would somebody who's got a Porsche in the garage need a Renault 5 off the street?
Have you got a Porsche as well?
No.
Funny, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in that case, next time we get you up on the on the webcam. Can we have her on there as well?
I can put her photograph up.
Why can't I see her? You've not.
She's too shy.
Does she exist? I think you're making it up. Do you know, if I didn't know better, Terry, I'd think that all these phone calls you make to me are research for... Thank you, man. Are research for your next book.
Yeah. Well, I'm really into that now. You know, I'm working at it quite hard.
Tales from a Troubled Expat.
Yeah, I was thinking of calling it Mother and Father Hunting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not your father.
No, I know.
Are you sure?
I don't know who my father is, so I'm not absolutely sure. No, but you're too young, James.
Oh, that's all right, then. As long as you realise that, Terry. Right, okay, we'll get the webcam sorted out for next time.
Yeah, we'll do.
Can I hang on, Matt's back. Can I see him on webcam? If he puts his webcam on, can we see him?
What, Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy we were looking at.
No, yeah, I know. No. He's on. If he puts his webcam on now...
If he calls us up on Skype now, yes.
Yeah, but can I talk to him on the phone?
While he calls us up on Skype, yes.
Yeah. Call us up on Skype. Do that.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. I'll have to put my headphones on.
No. Stay on the phone.
Stay on the phone and just call up Skype.
Turn your computer down.
Turn your computer down.
Call up Skype.
Yeah, there we are.
Let's get that.
Yeah, put it on Skype.
Open Skype.
Open Skype, that's it.
Is that ringing?
Hang on.
Have you called us?
Have you called us?
I've clicked on something.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm answering that, so hopefully in a second...
Here we go.
The webcam will pop in.
Yeah, hang on. This is quite clever. This is all new stuff to me, Terry.
Is it working?
Oh, there we are, Terry. Yes, I can see you.
Right.
Yeah. Can you... Yeah. Yep, very good glasses.
West Ham shirt.
West Ham shirt, yes. It's slightly out of time, but it's okay, out of sync. That's good fun.
Okay, well, while you've got me there, James...
Yeah, and what can you show me? You've gone now?
I'll be back in a second.
Oh, you'll be back in a second. Hang on, carry on, yeah, while I've got you here.
I know you don't believe in religious education in schools.
Yeah, I think it's a very bad idea, yeah.
But would you extend that to universities? Because most university campuses have theology departments.
Well, if you go to university to study religion, I think that's a completely different issue to the fact that you are bombarded with religious propaganda, whether you want it or not, when you're at school. And I think religion is one of those things that's taught in schools as a reality. And I think people have to stop teaching religion as a reality.
Really true, James. Because, I mean, in the old days, we had religious instruction.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
around
about 1948, just after the Second World War, it was changed to religious education. Religious education is different to religious instruction because...
it's semantics. Sorry, Terry.
Religious instruction
it's semantics.
That children were nurtured into Christianity. There was no question of it not being true because children were deliberately nurtured into it. But now we have religious education, but there's no nurture. It's just a question of getting children to be...
well, most of the time, religious education is about anything but religion. But in church and religious schools, particularly in Catholic schools, religion is taught as if it is a truth, and it isn't.
Well, it shouldn't be.
I object to it.
It shouldn't be taught as if it's the truth.
Of course it shouldn't, because it's not a truth.
It's not religious instruction anymore. It's religious education.
Right. We agree. I mean, religion is something that's kept the peoples of the world apart for thousands of years. And if somebody really, really believes in this, fine. But then keep it to yourself, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
And stop getting so worried about, people should believe, should respect other people's beliefs, but you can't, allow somebody's beliefs to be given so much respect that their beliefs take over from reality.
No, well, I agree with you, James. I was just bandying the subject about a bit, just to
wind me up a bit, really, weren't you? Yeah.
Sorry?
Just to wind me up a bit, Terry.
Well, don't you think there is an upside to it? I mean, from the point of view of intellectual curiosity, I mean, that's what children need, isn't it? And that's what they get from religious education.
Well, it depends. No. I don't think you can say that. It rather depends on the person doing the education. If it's just a teacher who's been told to do it because they have to do it in the curriculum, no. And quite frankly, I think religion should be taught. I was going to say possibly in history, but it isn't history, so no, not even in history. I mean, I think, you need to know whilst you're being educated. We don't even teach people geography properly anymore. It's ridiculous, and I think you need to know a bit about all the world's religions as well as everything else to have a properly grounded education.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what religious education does.
I agree. Well, that's hopefully what it does, but it also says these are people's beliefs. This is not a fact. I went to school in the 50s and the 60s, and I went to the local village church school, Ewell Village, C of E. And most people did. That all the local schools were usually C of E, if not Catholic. And you were just taught all this gobbledygook as if it were a fact.
Did you have boys or girls in your class that were from different backgrounds or different religions?
No, not that I can remember. No. And we'd have the vicar come in once a month to give us special lessons. And, nobody ever said, this is what people believe. Because if the churches have, and this is why I'm against any more, I don't want to see, Jewish schools. I don't want to see Muslim schools. I don't want to see Christian schools. I want to see schools educating people. And if you suddenly develop a belief in a religion, then fine, you follow that through yourself. But it's about time we stopped allowing religion to have such a prominent place in society.
But James, if you've got in the same classroom, if you've got children from Christian families and children from Muslim families, children from Jewish families in the same classroom, which is what you'd like to see, then religious education is a way of getting them to communicate.
But you won't get that if you have faith schools, which is what everybody seemed to want.
No. Well, I agree with you. But if we don't have faith schools, I'm suggesting that then religious education has its part to play, because you've got children from different faiths in the same school, in the same classroom.
Yeah. If the teachers teach it in that way, I agree with you. Now, what's that hanging round your neck?
Oh, that's I'm allergic to something, and that's if I have an accident, the doctors will know that I'm allergic to.
Can you give me a spin with your webcam? Can you show me round your room that you're in or not?
Yeah, I can. I'll
show you around the room I'm in if anybody's interested.
There's some bookshelves there.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And then there's the window. I've got a marvellous view. It's just during daylight, it's just completely green outside. And every day there's a tree outside, and every day a buzzard comes and sits there.
I used to have a buzzard.
Did you?
When I lived in the Yorkshire Moors, which I lived for about 20 years up in North Yorkshire, I used to keep a buzzard.
Did you?
And go out flying it, yeah.
You used to fly it?
I did, yes.
And what did you feed it on?
Dead day-old chicks.
Yeah. Well, this one, it comes every day and sits on the tree. And I just sit here and write, and I've got a fantastic view of him. He just sits there.
Did you build those bookshelves?
I did. I built these myself.
I thought so. You can tell.
Yeah.
They're very nice. They look built.
Yeah. Well, that's
they're all
deliberate. That's deliberate. That's my book.
Bespoke. That's right, Matt. Yeah, they're bespoke.
And this is. Can I just take you round a bit further, James?
Yeah, go on.
This is your book.
Oh, get the cover of my book on there. Fantastic.
It's open at the moment because I was just rereading it. But normally, let's just. Can I just close it? And then you'll get the...
Yeah, then I get the good advert, because we're showing it to everybody who's looking on the camera now. There we are. James Well, almost a celebrity. Fantastic.
There
in fact, I'm wearing that shirt tonight. Yeah. I am wearing that shirt tonight, yeah.
Are you? I like that shirt.
It's a nice shirt, yes, I like that shirt. Can you take me into your kitchen?
I can't, James, because I'm a bit stuck. This telephone.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
behind my desk, and can I just put the phone down for 1 second then?
Yes, just take me around, and I'll just do I'll tell everybody where we're going. Oh yeah, he's going out of the race.
Hello, James. Are you
Yep.
still there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm listening. Yeah.
See, it's quite dark. You won't see anything because I can't get to a light switch.
Is Mrs. Terry in bed then?
She is. She likes to go to bed quite early.
Yeah.
Because she keeps very busy.
Yeah.
She works for the doctor
Yeah.
in the village.
And how long have you lived there now?
11 years.
And do you love it?
Yeah, it's a great lifestyle, James.
Yeah.
Because we've got this lovely house, and we're right. We haven't got any neighbours, and the lane where we live is one way, so we don't get any traffic.
How did you find a house in the middle of France?
Well, the land belonged to my wife's family.
Is she French?
Yeah, she
Oh,
is,
okay.
yeah.
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 And so, I see. So they built the house for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Matt,
I helped a bit.
yeah, Matt and I are coming to stay.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. It would be lovely to see you.
Terry, we've got to go. Nice to talk to you.
Okay, James.
Talk
nice
to you soon.
Speak to you.
All right, my friend.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That's Terry, who's in the Dordogne. Is he in the Dordogne, or is he in sorry, I think he is. Yeah, down in France. And do you know the thing I love about this so much is when you get phone calls from people, you can see them.
Yes.
You can actually see people talking to you on the phone. That's what I like, when you can see people on the phone. Now, if you want to join me, you can Skype me at play.radio.uk, and you can also pick up your phone and give me a ring on 01243 55 60 60. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Are everyday items stretching your family income to the limits at the moment? Me too. Well, I found this amazing website, comparison-plus.co.uk. It's amazing. You can compare the prices of thousands of products from all the big retailers. And what's more, it's a totally free service. You don't have to become a member to use Comparison Plus. But if you do register with comparison-plus.co.uk, you get cashback rewards, giving you even bigger savings. Don't pay over the odds. Click comparison-plus.co.uk and start saving now.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies award-winning single malt. Visit playradiouk.com and have the pure spirit of legend delivered to your door.
James Wales. They can take the man off the radio, but they can't take the voice off air.
Okay, welcome back. The James Whale Radio Show. Mondays and Tuesdays, Play Radio UK. You can hear it through my website at jameswhaleradio.com. In which, if you go to jameswhaleradio.com, you can read my wife's blog, which goes under the title of Mrs. Whale's Diary. She's very upset about all sorts of things this week. The new one just went on today, I think. Right. I think I'm getting a cold. I think it's the air conditioning in here, Matt. It's not. It's cold one minute and hot the next.
I don't like air conditioning.
No, I don't much, but you've got to have a. I'm getting a sore throat, so it must be. You got a sore throat?
No, I'm alright. But what we need is to do this from like the Bahamas or somewhere. To be sat on a beach with the waves lapping at our feet and a pina colada. And
Do you know that somebody offered me that chance and I didn't take it? To go and work on a radio station, sort of somewhere like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you take it?
Well, because, I didn't want to do it, really.
Oh.
Anyway, right, back to the sponsors of my show. Blackadder. We're giving away, and this is for those people who are looking at us on the television as well. If you want to go to the TV, just click on NTTBS. NTTBS. Go to that and click the watch link and you can see real time. Now, Blackadder, the fabulous single malt Scotch whisky, who we're very proud to say are our sponsors of the James Whale Radio Show. have given us a bottle a night to give away on the show Mondays and Tuesdays. A bottle of 12-year-old malt whiskey. It's been in the bottle for 12 years, and it's been in the cask for a lot longer. If you go to our website at Playradio UK, you can find out how you can purchase your bottle of single malt. What's that?
That's an email.
No. What's your phone Führer's bringing you in flipping Chad Lager again? Yeah, that's common. You got him running around after you.
No, he offered, actually. It just happened to be out there.
Really? Yeah. Did you give him one? He's not even old enough, is he?
No, he's not had one. No, he's not had one of my beers.
Okay. So anyway, if you would like to win one, you have to be the most interesting, either email or phone call. And we've got half an hour to go on that, and then we'll have to... And don't forget, if you're emailing us, include your name and address so we can know where to send it. Seamus O'Reilly, I thought I was going to get something from... I hadn't got anything from Seamus to date. By the way, waiting for a few more calls now. So, phone calls, 01423 55 60 60 is the number to ring. Yes, nice, those bunch of so-called do-gooders, that bastion of pain-free, live-longer lollygaggers, that tango of quangos whose job is, of course, to make sure that the least well-off in our society do not have access to the best drugs, ensuring there is plenty available for the more affluent of us, and thus making certain that in the future growing old will become a rich man's sport. It's nice to be nice, but it's also nice to be naughty. Give me the whiskey, James, and I'll send you a little ditty that will make you laugh. That's if we can sneak it past Moloch. That must be you. And we will be able to drink the health of Mrs. Whale and her world-renowned diary. Thank you. I don't think that's got a chance in hell of winning, but there we are. Happy Tree emailed me, says, I was wondering if you've ever heard of Vincent Bugliosi. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Have you read this one? An American attorney and author, best known for prosecuting Charles Manson, because he's got a book out called The Prosecution of George W. Bush for Murder. Here's a video of him outlining his case that George Bush can and should be prosecuted for first-degree murder. He has a solid case. Well, I don't know. All right, I'll have a look at that later. Thank you for that, Mr. Happy Tree. Another crazy idea to stop global warming, ceiling below. I assume someone paid the scientists money for this. David Grimm, haven't had a chance to... eat kangaroo to save the planet. Yeah, I saw that. It's on the BBC website again, wasn't it? If you eat kangaroo, they reckon that if you eat kangaroo instead of beef, then of course we won't have the need for so many cows, and it will stop the methane problem that cows have. I don't know whether you knew that cows had a methane problem, but they don't have a methane problem. What else we got here? Alison from Bexington, or is that Alison Bexington? I don't know. I see. I have no idea, Alison. Who knows what will happen in the future? Michelle. Here we go. Michelle, Lennon and McCartney. I told you it was the Beatles Pilot Features. Didn't I? Can you hear me?
Lennon McCartney, yes.
Yeah, Beatles. Lennon McCartney. Beatles. I told you, didn't I? Michelle, my belle. These words that go together well, my Michelle. See? What?
You're singing.
Yeah, it's good. It's improved. Michelle, my belle, sans les mains qu'on vole en bon duit. Hey, do you want to read it?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, you sing it.
I'm not singing it.
No, sing it.
I don't even know the tune.
Come. Michelle, ma belle.
Sans les mots qui vont très bien ensemble, très bien ensemble. Is that about right?
No, that's crap. What?
Almost swore then.
I love you, love you, I love you, I love you. That's all I want to say. Until I find a way, I will say the only words I know that you'll understand. Michelle, my belle, sans les... No, look. Should we get someone else to sing this? Who can we get to sing it properly?
What? Caller might sing it.
Not the bloody caller again.
He slipped through the net. I don't know how he does it.
Andy Bruce said, thanks for the flash, fell off my seat. Michelle Ward, using my friend's email. Oh, I see, right, using her friend's email. Yes. Thanks for the flash, fell off my seat. Listen, Michelle, we want to hear you sing now. Maybe you could ring in and sing. Okay? 01243 55 60 60. Can we not get rid of the caller? Look, can we not see a photograph of him?
He's gone.
He's gone?
He dropped himself.
Oh, he dropped himself. Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, no, he's back.
Is he?
Yeah.
How can he drop himself and come back that quick?
Well, you know what he's like.
He's a pillar, yeah, I know exactly what he's like. Jason. Is that his real name? Jason. Look at the smug little face with the bow tie underneath it. All right, Jason, go on. No, he's dropped himself again.
Oh.
He's gone. I don't care. I'll have a cup of coffee. Now, let's go to this, let's go to this serious email we had, from Steve Roberts. About Sheriff Joe I forget how you pronounce his name. Apiro. He created the Tent City Jail. Now listen, you know how our politicians, well, they're all on holiday at the moment, aren't they? You see the pictures in the News of the World of David Cameron and his wife frolicking in the waves. We don't want to see pictures like that of bloody politicians. You know, you are celebrities. Get on and do something useful, will you? Anyway, Sheriff Joe created the Tent City Jail to save Arizona from spending tens of millions of dollars on another expensive prison complex, right? What the sheriff did was set up a load of tents and you know, armed guards, everything else. He has reduced the amount of money he spends on meals for the prisoners down to 20 cents a serving, and he charges the inmates for them. Because, of course, you know, you get a certain amount of money when you're in prison.
Yeah.
He banned smoking and pornographic magazines in the jails and took away their weightlifting equipment and cut off all the G-movies. He says they're in jail to pay a debt to society, not to build muscles so they can assault innocent people when they leave. Hear, hear, Sheriff Joe. I've actually interviewed Sheriff Joe, and he makes an enormous amount of sense. He is a good guy. He started chain gangs to use the inmates to do free work on county and city projects and save taxpayers' money. Another round of applause for Sheriff Joe. He then started chain gangs for women so he wouldn't get sued for discrimination. He took away cable TV until he found out there was a federal court order that required cable TV for jails. So he hooked up the cable TV again, but only allows the Disney Channel and the Weather Channel. When asked why the Weather Channel, he replied, so these morons will know how hot it's going to be while they are working on my chain gang. He cut off coffee because it has zero nutritional value and is therefore a waste of taxpayers' money. When the inmates complained, he told them, this isn't the Ritz-Carlton. If you don't like it, don't come back. He also bought the Newt Gingrich lecture series on U.S. history that he pipes into the jails. When asked by a reporter if he had any lecture series by a Democrat, he replied that a Democrat lecture series that actually tells the truth for a change would be welcome, and that it might even explain why 95% of the inmates were in his jails in the first place. With temperatures being even hotter than usual in Phoenix, that's 116 degrees Fahrenheit, just set a new record for June. The Associated Press reported about 2,000 inmates living in a barbed wire surrounded tent encampment at the county jail have been given permission to strip down to their government-issued pink boxer shorts. On the Wednesday, hundreds of men wearing pink boxer shorts were overheard chatting in the tents where temperatures reached 128 degrees. This is hell. It feels like we live in a furnace, said Ernsto Gonzalez, an inmate for 2 years with 10 more to go. It's inhumane. Sheriff Joe, who makes his prisoners wear pink and eat Bolonga sandwiches. What are Bolonga sandwiches? Is not one bit sympathetic. Criminals should be punished for their crimes, not live in luxury until it's time for parole, only to go out and commit more crimes so they can come back to live on the taxpayers' money and enjoy things many taxpayers can't afford to have themselves. The same day he told all the inmates who were complaining of the heat in the tent, it's between 120 and 130 degrees in Iraq, and our soldiers are living in tents too. And they have to walk all day in the sun wearing full battle gear and get shot at. And they have not committed any crimes. So shut your damned mouths! Well done, Sheriff. Way to go, Sheriff. If all prisons were like yours, there would be a lot less crime. I so agree with this guy. And you know, we have a lack of prison places in this country at the moment. Let's, for goodness sake, encourage our members of Parliament. And you can do this at home, guys. You can do this at home. There is no reason why we can't make male prisoners wear pink boxer shorts. There is no reason why we can't scrap. And make sure, listen, a couple of security guards, prison guards today, were caught selling mobile phones to prisoners. They deserve life. They deserve life. We mean, these guys can't have drugs, can't have... You see, our prison officers leave a lot to be desired in this country because it's the prison officers who allow this shit to get through to the prisoners. So we need to really punish the prison officers. Sheriff Joe is a good guy. Get these people living in tents. If it's cold, if it's hot, it doesn't matter. Get them doing some menial work chained up in the society. Get them eating practically nothing. Take away coffee. Take away movies. Take away all the bodybuilding gear. Play classical music. You know, sometimes where these young yobs used to hang around, they found they could disperse them outside supermarkets by playing classical music. Sheriff Joe's ideas are great. We should try them here. Hands up who agrees. Okay, 01243 55 60 60. We'll, who's on the line, by the way? Hello? Hello?
Oh, is that me?
Who are you?
I've been holding forever. I can't give my name. I'm a secretive person.
Okay, well, secretive person. We'll come back and we'll talk to you in a couple of moments, I think.
Missed anything?
Hello, this is Chris Tarrant. Hello there, this is Sean Williamson.
James Whale.
If you speak to me like that again, I'll put you over my knee and spank you.
Not the Tommy Boyd Show.
Have you ever been contacted by the Biavians?
No, I've had a few close brushes with Uranus.
Hello, this is Chris Tarrant. If you're hearing this now, you've missed me on Hertz's Half Hour. But don't worry, you can listen again at playradiouk.com/podcast.
playradiouk.com/podcast.
Missed anything? Then go to playradiouk.com/podcast.
Find out how your business can reach over 3.5 million clients right now by emailing sales@playradiouk.com or call 01243 556 285. playradiouk.com. Internet radio your way.
Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play 2 UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Mouth-watering malt straight to your door. Visit playradiouk.com and set your taste buds free.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Okie dokie, here we go. The James Whale Radio Show brought to you by Blackadder Single Malt Whiskey. We're giving a bottle away as well tonight and tomorrow, and it'll be for the most entertaining call or email. Have we had it yet? I don't know. We'll decide in the next half hour. It could be you. You've got to be in it to win it, so give us a ring, 01243 55 60 60. Let's take some calls. It's the James Whale Radio Show just after 11 o'clock. Tonight we've spoken about the Olympics. I'm not a big fan of you. I certainly don't see what good it's going to do coming to this country except waste more of our money. We've talked about the sad events unfolding in Georgia with Russia and Georgia now at war, although they say that apparently they're going to have a ceasefire before long. We've talked about the fact that America has decided to warn off Russia for interfering in other people's business. And Dick Cheney has said that the Russians got to be taught a lesson. I wish somebody put Dick Cheney down. You know, he's caused this world enough problems. He's an idiot, a fool, a simpleton. Dick Cheney and the rest of the New World Order. Also, we've talked about the sad death of Isaac Hayes and played Shaft already. Might play it again later. And what else have we talked about tonight? We talked about loads of stuff.
We have, yeah. We talked about with the Olympics. Obviously, Isaac Hayes.
I just mentioned that. Yeah, I just mentioned that. I just mentioned those two things.
Parking.
Parking. We talked about parking and the fact that traffic wardens can't tell the time and some can't even speak English.
Russia, Georgia, UFOs.
Yeah, done all that. We talked about UFOs with Nick Pope, and tomorrow night we'll be talking about UFOs and other things with Dr. Richard Lawrence from the Aetherius Society. Interesting character if you've not met him before. And you haven't met him before, have you?
I haven't, no.
So he's on tomorrow, and we've also been talking about coffee. You can't call coffee black anymore. What?
You're just reminding me.
I'm just going to that in a minute for...
Well, I'm your producer, that's what I'm meant to do, just...
Shut up. Caller.
Have you got a pen and paper ready?
For you?
Get ready to take my name and number down for the most entertaining call of the evening. I can already taste that whiskey.
Jason. Right.
Who?
Jason, yeah. Now, what's your number, Jace?
I'm a very private person. I cannot give that out over the air.
Come on, Jason, estate agent. Give us your number.
0208-555-5555. Right. Now, earlier on, I've had a serious thought. I'm beginning to agree with you now about, flogging the prisoners. And
when did you not agree with me? What are you talking about?
Oh, I've just been disagreeing with you all the way along.
All your life. Don't tell me. Ever since you were a child, you've been disagreeing with me.
Oh, for the last at least 20 years, right?
Yeah. What's wrong with flogging prisoners? I used to have a little feature on my show where we got the whip out and flogged them.
Get them in the water wheel. This is how long I've been listening to you.
Hang on. Can I just... That's so good. Can I just repeat that? Come on. I've got to repeat that. Come on. On the James Whale Radio Show tonight, one of James Whale's fabulous ideas. Here's the idea, guys. I've spoken about it before. It took the caller to remind me. Here's the idea. What we do, and it's not a new idea. After I broached this idea first of all, people sent me engravings from Victorian books, and they did it. What we do is we get a Ferris wheel. You know the sort of wheel you get a hamster running around in? We install them in prisons, big ones. We connect them up to the national grid, and prisoners do 5 or 6 hours a day in the wheel. The wheel...
Yeah, give them a good whipping as well.
You can whip them as well. You get them round the wheel, they make electricity that then goes into the national grid. They're giving something back. Is that not a brilliant idea?
I prefer the pink boxer shorts, to be honest.
They wear pink boxer shorts. I know you like people in pink boxer shorts, you perv.
Well, bring it.
What?
Well, they're on the wheel, and then we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can film it and make video product out of it.
Yeah, well, there's a video nasty to be made there, Jace.
Oh, look how I'm holding back.
Yeah, no, I think a video nasty.
Right.
So, no videos, no TV, old reruns of my radio shows played to them all the time.
Oh, that's going a bit far.
No, but I think it can be done. They will only get minimum quantities of food, which will keep...
prison, not torture.
Which, same thing in my book, which will keep them alive. And there will be absolutely no working out in gymnasiums to keep them fit.
Much of the same point.
Have you got a budgie?
No, that's my smoke alarm.
All right, okay.
Right? Now, much of the same point as somebody said that they should throw, you know, the mental feral youths, not wishing to be alarmist and populist, but all them chavnuts that are walking around drinking cider and stabbing people. People said
or cheap lager.
Exactly. They should put them in the army.
Yeah.
Well, my point is, if you put them in the army, right, you're going to have, in 5 years' time, mental killing machines wandering about.
Yeah, you don't put them in the army. That's a silly idea.
What should we do with them, James? Come on.
Well, we've already said.
Don't hold back.
Well, we've already said what we do with them.
No, we need a new idea.
A new idea.
Yeah, come on.
But I like the idea of putting them into the big Ferris wheel to generate electricity. Don't you like that?
Yeah!
Let's make them sleep under canvas.
Yeah!
Let's make them have to read Shakespeare.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because most of them can't read anyway, so and if they can't read and write an essay about what they've read, then give them a flogging. The good thing about internet radio is, you know, when I'm not on internet radio, on other radio, they can listen to it, but I wouldn't think many of them have got laptops in their cells, would you?
Yeah, the ones they nicked. Oh, in the cells.
Yeah. Oh, they might have, yeah, you're right.
They bring the drugs in the laptops these days.
Well, anybody gets drugs, right? If they get drugs in a prison, and if they're known to have drugs, then I think that the staff, including the governor, all have to be lined up.
Carry on. Yes, I'm listening.
And dispensed with.
In what fashion?
I can't go there.
You do a William Tell on them with your bow and arrow.
No, I'd leave. No.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of the. It was on Sunday.
Yeah.
The ladies' archery.
Yes, I was watching that as well.
Into the targets. It was on really late.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, those arrows don't look like they could hurt anything. They look like they bounce off you. It goes into a bit of cardboard.
Mm.
I think an Olympic sport should be some form of hunting.
Mm.
That would be the ultimate Olympic sport, wouldn't it?
I suppose if you think that, right?
Yes.
Then we should have a test out. Oh no, I better not. That's a bit. No, shouldn't do that really. Because
we should get the
write
scumbags that nick your car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And set them free in Beijing.
And then the archers hunt them. Okay.
Yeah. We don't have to kill them, but just get them in the leg or something.
Yeah, well, that seems fine to me. What about the fact that if you nick a car, you get hung?
Well, I could live with that.
Because I
had 2 cars nicked.
Yeah. I don't believe in the death penalty for murder, because I don't think murderers actually are worried about what's going to happen to them. But if you were to hang car thieves, because that's a particularly nasty occupation, and the police and the authorities don't seem to take it very seriously. You know, if you ever ring up, say, I've had my car started, and they say, hang on a minute, and you think, oh, good, they're going to do something. Here's a crime number for you. That's the extent of the police's interest in car theft. I think car thieves should be hung, and then their bodies displayed outside filling stations.
What about those buggers that throw bricks through your shop windows?
Oh, well, I think go back to the old thing of hang, draw and quarter them. On a Sunday afternoon.
On a Sunday? But Sunday is the day of God.
No, that's all right. God wouldn't mind that, I'm sure.
Can I have a thought about God? A serious...
Hang on. In fact, there's a pub in the East End of London. There's a pub near Tower Bridge called the Hung, Drawn and Quartered.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
I don't go into pubs.
No, you don't, because obviously you can't drink.
You can't say Sunday is a day of God, though, because people have been killing in the name of God for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, he's only making it. You know, I thought we were working out more radical ways of stopping crime.
Yeah, but I did call in with a point that you had touched upon earlier.
Yeah, which?
Which is, sorry to change the subject dramatically, right?
Yeah.
But you were talking about God, yeah?
Yeah.
And I thought, seeing as I do like a bit of religion, right? I thought to myself, right, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes?
Why did you think Jesus?
No, I thought Jesus was the king of the Jews. Yes.
Well, that's questionable.
No, it was in the Bible. You can't argue with that.
Yeah, of course you can argue with everything that's in the Bible.
You can argue with it, but for all intents and purposes, no one says he isn't, right?
All right.
He's the king of the Jews, yet he was an Arab.
Well, I think he was a Palestinian, wasn't he?
So what is the
that
going on
Yeah.
down that way?
That was St. George, wasn't it?
No, Jesus was the king of the Jews,
Yeah.
and he was born where? Bethlehem,
Yeah.
which is...
Right, okay, fine. All right, Jace, all right. Don't go mad, It's just getting...
So-
yeah, all right, Jace, okay.
So, no, hold on. Let me get my point across, because I've been stable this evening, right?
You've been stable this evening. That depends where you measure stability from. But go on.
Right.
Yeah.
So, how is there so much beef going on down the Middle East way when he is the king of both of sides of these people?
It's a very good point, Jason, and I detect a sort of Middle Eastern complexion in your in your face there. I mean, do you have a...
No, I am a Spaniard.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there we are. So you're a Muslim, then?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's a lot of Muslims in Spain, aren't there?
Well, there were.
There were, yeah.
No, I'm a marriage Muslim.
Right. Because religion's done a lot to ruin Spain, hasn't it? The Christians and the Muslims together, you know. There's a lot of that going around wearing, I don't know. It's a shame, but there we are.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, do I get the whiskey?
No.
I think I have most undoubtedly have single-handedly saved the show at the late stage again.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Thank you for your call. That was Jason Spaniard, better known as Caller. He's also an estate agent, so on principle, we wouldn't give him the whiskey, would we? What?
Push that button because Ross is making a call.
Okay. Robin Blackadder, our sponsor, has written to us. He said, did you know that in 1987, infant autism rates were 1 in 1,500 today? They're 1 in 150 and rising. When heated above 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees centigrade. What is all this about, Robin? Aspartame partially breaks down to menthol. Oh dear. What was that about? 98.6. It's good to have you back again. And those coffees and teas are hotter than 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees centigrade. Yes, when you drink a diet, low-calorie drink, the nice warm temperature of your small intestine will happily break the aspartame down into menthol. Too much menthol in your body is like having too much formaldehyde. Not such a good idea. Now, to the great thing about all Scotch whisky, not just Blackadder. The Scotch Whisky Association states that it was not considered necessary in the EU to lay down a statutory maximum level for menthol in Scotch whisky or in other whiskies, as these are cereal-based spirits. Methanol, not menthol, methanol. Why did I say menthol? Methanol generally emanates from the breakdown during distillation of pestin.
We actually have Robin on line 1. You can
Thank God for that. Did I get that right? Apart from
the methanol.
Methanol, yeah.
But you used to smoke consulate or something, or you never smoked?
I did. Well, I never smoked, but if I was going to smoke, it would have been cool as a mountain stream.
Yeah, that's good fun.
So autism rates are going up that much?
Yeah, you never see people talking about it, but
I didn't know about it. Why? Because of this? Because there's too much...
I don't know why, but people never ask the question and never look at it, do they?
When heated above 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees centigrade, aspartame... what is aspartame?
Aspartame, there's the stuff they put in all these diet drinks and chewing gums and things like that. And
I ate a lot of chewing gum.
You should have a look at the link that I sent you for the woman who did the tests on rats.
Yeah. What, with chewing gum?
No, she put diluted aspartame in with their drinking water.
Right, okay. And what happened?
And they came out with the most terrible cancers and things like that.
Oh, shit.
I've had this, myself personally, I mean, I had this experience many years ago, and I made sure after that my children growing up never had anything that had any additives in it.
Well, I never swallowed my chewing gum.
got stuff in it which, knowing your history, I certainly would not consume.
Oh, gosh. Thanks a lot. I've been chewing gum all my life.
Yeah, well, that could be...
No, it's dangerous gum.
Why?
I've known this for a while.
Have you? Oh,
yeah,
right, okay.
Not to mention all the other stuff it's made out with. They claim it's good for cleaning your teeth, but that's
Well, that's what I eat it all the time, just to clean my teeth.
No, your teeth are better off without chewing gum. All
Are
it does is produce acid. You can produce acid in your mouth without having chewing gum.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Can I eat a mint or something? I just like something to suck.
Just look at what additives they put in the things.
Oh, okay.
Basically...
I'm throwing them out. Can you go down to my car and throw all my gum away?
I'll just get...
But, no, seriously, I looked
into
all this because in my family we had a very similar experience to what you experienced. And...
so if I drink loads of your scotch... Will that
I'm
help?
not recommending you drink loads of my scotch. I think you're perfectly correct in taking it in moderation. Obviously not when you're driving a car.
No, obviously not. I just would occasionally a little sip.
A small sip. But it the only thing I'd ever correct on what you were saying is it spends a long time in the cask and then it's bottled. It's not been in the bottle for very long. The whiskies that we sent to you, there's 4 different types, and they've all been bottled within the last couple of years.
Well, this one I'm holding here says, it was distilled. 1993. 12 years old. So it hasn't been in the bottle for 12 years old.
No, it was put in the bottle a couple of years back.
Oh, okay.
It would have been 12 years. The age of a whiskey is the number of years that the youngest whiskey in the bottle has spent in a cask.
Right, so
in Scotland.
So it's not in the bottle for 12 years.
No.
No.
It could be if you don't open it, but what we find with Blackadder whiskies is some people ask me, how long does this bottle of Blackadder whiskey last once I've opened it? And I said, in most cases, not very long.
Well, if you open, it's like anything else. I mean, people sort of say, oh, well, I'll open a bottle of wine and I'll have a glass tonight and a glass tomorrow. If you're going to open a bottle of wine, drink the bloody thing.
Yeah. I mean,
why would you open a bottle of wine and keep it for a few... How can... You know...
Well, the difference with whiskey and wine is that whiskey will not deteriorate once it's opened.
But you can't drink... I did drink a whole bottle of whiskey once when I was in my 20s, all right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I did it. It put me off whiskey for a while. Because
I'm not surprised.
I was on radio for one of my first ever times on radio on New Year's Eve. And I wasn't driving either. I didn't drive until I was about 26. And... the boss had come in and left a bottle of whiskey. And I started sipping the whiskey at about 9 o'clock in the evening. And by about 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was on until 6 in the morning from 9, that's what, sort of 9 hours on, I'd had the whole bottle of whiskey, and I couldn't get up when I finished.
I'm not surprised. It's not a recommended procedure, basically.
I felt so ill. But worse than that, I was really, really hungry, but I drank a bottle of milk.
Yeah.
And then I began to throw up.
Did you start mooing as well?
Oh, nearly. I just remember... Oh, no, I don't want to tell you.
Listen, I think I've got some connections going back that you've probably got, actually, because I haven't been in whiskey all my life.
Go on.
I started on whiskey 1980.
Yeah.
But before that... for a while. You were talking the other night on one of your shows, I think, about the lovely Sally James.
Oh, yes.
I was involved with the Saturday Scene road shows for a while.
Were you?
Yeah, and I interviewed Jenny Handley once when she was doing Magpie.
Jenny Handley.
In her flat underneath her mother's flat in... where it was, somewhere in Kensington area. She was lovely.
Is she
really
on?
Lovely.
Is she Jenny Handley? Is she on radio too now, or not? No.
I don't know.
What happened to Jenny Handley?
I lose track of all the.
Yeah. No, that's Sarah. What's her name's on radio? I always get her and Sarah Thingy mixed up.
Sarah Thingy.
I can't remember what her bloody name is now. I'll have another shot of Blackadder whiskey.
Anyway, I'm going to come and see you next month.
All right. Well, look forward to it. In the meantime, we had a caller from someone desperate to buy a bottle of Blackadder whiskey.
Yeah, I've already emailed them back.
Oh, right.
I've done that. All they've got to do is to follow the links.
Yeah, all right.
But the best places in the UK to go are the Vintage House in Old Compton Street in London and the Whiskey Castle in Tomintoul up in the Highlands of Scotland.
You're in Old Compton Street, are you?
The Vintage House is in Old Compton Street. Yeah, they've got a huge selection of Blackadder whiskies in there, as has the Whiskey Castle in Tomintoul.
Yeah.
And both of them run mail order services.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay. And they drink a lot in Sweden, don't they?
Oh, in Sweden, they like whiskey in Sweden, yes.
They
Definitely
do.
like whiskey.
When I
they
first-
have the biggest beer and whiskey festival
That's
in
right.
the world in Stockholm every September. Last 2 weekends in September.
If you're going to Sweden and you want to get on well with your hosts, take a couple of bottles of whiskey.
They have 25,000 people over the 2 weekends at the whiskey fair.
Have you got a stall?
Yeah, we have a big stand there. Come out and do a show from Stockholm. You'll love it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I wouldn't mind going back to Lund, where I was when I was very young.
I don't know Lund so well. I've been there a couple of times. But everything closes in Lund so early.
Well, listen, I mean, I was there in 1969, and that's the last
That's probably
time
why
I
they
was there.
closed it.
Probably was. I can only remember a big church in the middle somewhere. That's all I can really remember.
Did you go there then?
Where? To the church?
Yeah.
No. I was working in a disco there.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that. It was a bit of a dodgy.
It was,
dodgy
yeah.
experience.
I got into a real problem there. But anyway, it's all in my book. Right, listen, got to go. Talk to you soon, Robin. Nice to have you on.
Nice to talk to you, and great what you're doing. I love the show.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Keep it up, James. Bye now.
Bye. That's from our sponsor. And now I feel bad about chewing gum. Might just give you indigestion. You gulp a lot of air. Look, there's Fat Steve. Hi, Fat Steve.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy boy?
Good.
Good. Okay, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk right after these words.
Play 2 UK. Headlines.
The cost of living's going up again. Now running a bath or doing the washing up is about to get more expensive as water prices are put up. As violence continues in South Ossetia, a war of words is emerging between Georgia and Russia. Russian President Dmitry Medvedev says the military operation is almost over, but Georgia's Mikhail Saakashvili claims it's still pouring extra troops and tanks into the region. Health bosses have apologised to a man whose lung was removed by mistake because he'd been wrongly diagnosed with cancer. Lawrence Ball from Shetland says it's ruined his life and is now launching legal action. And Britain's gold medal winning swimmer Rebecca Adlington is being tipped for more success at the Olympics. After winning the 400 metres freestyle, she's now focusing on the 800 metres, her stronger event.
Play 2 UK. Weather.
Okie dokie. Light rain in places tonight. A band of very heavy rain, though, moving northeastwards later across southern and western parts of England, Wales and Northern Ireland. The outlook for Tuesday, heavy rain continuing northwards through northern England and eventually southern Scotland. Sunshine and showers will follow across England and Wales. Northern Scotland will have isolated showers. Windy in places.
You're up to date on Play 2 UK.
Hello, this is Mike Mendoza inviting you to join me here on Play 2 UK between 8 and midnight on Wednesday and Thursday. Well, this Wednesday is my very first. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be a few frolics around the place. I just say frolics, didn't I? Yeah. We can be serious. I can be mean. I can be nasty. I love you, really. You know that, don't you? Well, joining me, one of my old mates. It's Bevsy the Gadget Detective. You can join me from 9 o'clock on Wednesday here on Play 2 UK between 8 and midnight. Don't miss it.
Parents give lots of reasons why they keep smoking when they have a newborn baby.
It's just so stressful, what with the crying and the lack of sleep and everything.
Well, my parents smoked when I was a baby, and I'm alright.
But there are lots more reasons why you should stop. Because smoking around your baby doubles the chance of them dying from cot death. That's why the NHS offers free support to new mothers and their partners who want to quit smoking.
We're so glad we quit, for her sake.
Yeah, it's been good for us too.
For help and support to go smoke-free, call the NHS Pregnancy Smoking Helpline on 0800 169 9169 or visit www.nhs.uk/go-smoke-free.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Single malt made the traditional way. Visit playradiouk.com and unlock the spirit of legend.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
True, absolutely true. Now we're going to find the winner. Matt, the producer, is going to have a think about it, and I'll have a think about it, and we'll tell you in a moment who it is.
4 emails
What?
here I can't say that we've had a call that warrants a win, to be honest with you.
No.
No, they've all...
You don't think so?
Well,
we haven't spoken to Fat Steve yet.
Well, that's a good point. Let's speak to Fat Steve. And we've got Linda in Wakefield holding very kindly on line 2. So.
Exactly. Stevie might be the one to win. Hi, Stevie.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know whether Americans can be allowed loose on Blackadder whiskey. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself.
You know, because nothing will get done in the world then. So Dick Cheney's threatening the Russians.
Good old Dick.
Dick in name, Dick in nature.
Everyone loves a bit of Dick.
Yeah. Yeah, but not that. What do you think about what's going on?
Well, I happen to be over here in the Georgia that's not at war, so I'm just sort of happy about that.
Georgia on my mind.
But, you know, it's funny that you were talking about that guy Joe Arpaio.
Yep.
That guy's a total scumbag. He's like, he's a publicity seeker.
Yeah, but what a great idea. You put the cons in pink boxer shorts. That's gotta be a good idea, Stevie.
That's not the problem with him. My problem with him is, A, how many people are in his jail for simple drug offenses that were totally nonviolent. My problem is how the stupid ruling that allows him to arrest people for illegally going over the border and put them away for 2 years for smuggling.
But how does that...
themselves...
Surely, I mean, the sheriff can't do that. They've got to go to court and have a trial, surely.
Well, but the whole point is a judge made this ruling that if you smuggle yourself across the border, you can be arrested for smuggling. It's all in this insane county in Arizona.
What county is it in?
Mariposa or
Mariposa.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Not a place to go. But okay, listen, I don't know too much about the internal workings of your judicial system in America because it seems to be different from county to county.
Yes.
But I think the idea of a tented prison and prisoners not being allowed to work out and get big muscles, not being able to have TV, movies and other good stuff, being fed basic food, made to wear pink underwear, and to do some work back into the community, I think it sounds a good idea.
But, you know, feeding them nutritious food and having them do hard labor is the same equivalent as letting them work out.
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I don't know that it's hard labor, and the food.
Well, if it's any good, it is.
I think it's like picking up litter. And
I thought it was like breaking rocks.
No. I've interviewed this guy, and I actually put to him the point you said. I said, a lot of people say in the States you're just a publicity seeker, and that you're really interested in turning yourself into a celebrity. He said, well, no, I'm not. He said, this celebrity status has given me more aggravation than anything you can imagine. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I just think it's a bloody good idea, and I think we moan in Britain at the moment that we haven't got enough prison places, and this seems to me to be a great way of putting the scum under canvas.
There's like a rap band that wears those pink jumpsuits.
Yeah.
As like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
You know, it's like as soon as you make the prisons tougher, then that'll be the badass place to be. I mean, no one's walking around saying, yeah, I'm so, tough because I was in a prison with a PlayStation and my cellmate was Jeffrey Archer. But, you know, the newspapers seem to equate, easy prisons with it being a badge of honor.
Well, okay. I mean, I also happen to think, I've got some bloke with a GIMP mask suddenly flashed up in front of me. Okay, no, it's not you, Stevie. I happen to think that all drugs, by the way, should be made legal, and that would take the criminals out of the drug business, if you like. If people want to go and kill themselves with a little coke or whatever, they kill themselves with alcohol. As long as they don't interfere with anyone else, leave them to it. That's what I say.
Yeah, and it's especially how many people are in there just for like possession of marijuana. I mean, granted, it might be like 2 or 3 pounds of marijuana, but what are you going to do with 2 or 3 pounds of marijuana that could hurt someone.
Well, depends whether you drive a car. But no, I understand. Listen, I agree. I mean, I think...
but if you drive a car with a blindfold on, you're going to hurt people, but
Exactly.
you're not going to arrest people for a box of blindfolds.
Well, I don't know. That's going to come pretty soon in this country, that's for sure. I think. Tell me seriously for a moment, Stevie, what do you think about Bush's suggestion to Russia they've got to keep their nose out of other people's business?
Well, on one hand, he's right, but on the other hand, he doesn't really have the right to say that.
No, I agree. I mean, everybody should keep their nose out of everybody else's business, but it's a bit rich coming from Bush and Cheney after what they have been doing recently.
Yeah, I mean, although, I can't say, well, I look at Putin and those guys over in Russia and think, ooh, they look so much better. As bad as our guys are, whew, look at the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good point, my friend. I've got to move on. Thank you for talking to us. Love your knees, by the way. Love your knees. The more people can phone on Skype with a webcam, I love it. I think it's great. Now, Linda's with me as well. Linda's in...
Online too.
Yeah, I know. Linda's in Wakefield. Is it Wakefield?
It's
Yeah.
Wakefield.
Okay.
And we have Alan from Birmingham on line 1.
Well, we'll come to Alan in a moment. Right, Linda, hi.
Hiya, James.
Hello, Linda.
I'm so pleased to get hold of you.
Are you? Why?
Well, we used to listen to you on Talk Radio, and we've been trying to find you ever since. A few weeks ago, I spoke to somebody called Tommy Boyd, and he said you was on holiday.
Uh-huh.
And it's been awful without you. It really has.
Oh, dear.
We used to listen to Talk Radio every single night, and then you just seemed to disappear. And ever since then, we've listened and listened to different people. They're just not the same. They're boring.
Oh, dear. Well, where did you talk to Tommy? Right here?
It was a few weeks ago, and I think you'd gone to south of France somewhere.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
On holiday for 2 weeks. Honestly, it's been on my mind trying to get hold of you. Me and my husband, we haven't been able to sleep.
Oh, don't be silly.
People.
Well, listen, now you've found me and you've got you're tuned in. That's good, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's so nice to hear your voice. Honestly, you're so interesting.
Well, I spent the weekend, not this weekend, last weekend in Yorkshire as well.
Did you? Whereabouts?
In Harrogate.
Harrogate?
Mm.
Oh, I haven't been there for a long time.
Well, you're only 10 miles, 20 miles down the road.
I'll tell you what, I've read your book as well.
Have you?
Oh, yeah, I know everything about you.
I knew I shouldn't have
start
written it
to
down.
finish.
Oh, have you? Well, I've got an extra chapter going into the paperback later this year.
Have you?
Yeah, about why I suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm so pleased to speak to you. You wouldn't believe how pleased I am.
Well,
it's fantastic.
Well,
I think I must be a bit obsessed with you.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Anyway, at least I'm glad I've managed to find you.
Well,
I mean, it's my daughter's computer. I don't know anything about computers, but she found it for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And she's letting you borrow a computer.
She's actually listening to you in the kitchen now.
Is she? What's her name?
I've told her so much about you. She started reading your book now.
What's her name?
Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hang on a minute. You want to speak to her?
I'm just saying. Hello, Laura.
She can't hear. She's in the kitchen. Shall I shout her?
Go on, shout her.
Go on, Laura.
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 Hang on a minute, Laura.
Laura.
She wants to speak. Yeah, she's coming. Hang on.
Laura. All right, don't go over the top. Less is more, remember?
Hello.
I don't want to tuck me in boxer shorts.
Shut up. Hello, Laura.
Hello, James.
How are you, darling?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm very good. Thanks for getting your mum back on course.
Oh, it's all right. You won't believe how much she's missed you.
Oh, isn't that nice? That's so sweet. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, no. Well, I searched for you online.
Oh, well, that's
I'll find him for you.
Did you get her now to understand computers? Can she email and stuff like that?
No, I'd have to do it for her. I mean, she's stopping at my house tonight.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll get James on, and she was going, oh, I'm dead nervous. I don't know what to say on phone. I'm going, you'll be all right. I'll listen to you in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh,
I was chuckling away.
That's okay. Because unlike when you're on ordinary radio, we don't get any of those sort of feedback problems this way. You'll have to get her a Skype phone, and you'll have to get her a little laptop.
Oh,
well, in fact,
years to teach her how to use that.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, you can do so. You can get a Wi-Fi radio.
Right.
And then all she has to do is have broadband or something like that at her home.
Right.
And then
These Life Sky radios.
Comet.
Comet.
Is it Comet? Yeah, Comet. Comet or, although any one of those big electrical, just go and ask for a Wi-Fi radio.
Right.
And it's
a good early Christmas present then.
Yeah, it's an internet radio, which is I think the way all radio will come before long.
Brilliant.
And TV.
She also told me as well that, because I'm an animal lover myself, and she says, do you know, Laura, she went, you'll love James because he's totally against fox hunting, and I said, oh, anybody that's against fox hunting is great.
Well, I don't like killing things for fun.
No.
But I do eat meat, so...
Well, that's a different aspect in it, I suppose.
Yeah. I'll tell you, actually, I've been thinking about I don't like fox hunting because of the way they all sort of laugh about it and everything else. But I have to say, since fox hunting was banned, I have been really... So every time I'm out driving, and I drive late at night when I finish work, the amount of foxes run over on the roads is horrible now. Have you noticed that?
Well, I don't drive myself, so
right.
I'm one of these people. If I see an injured animal on the road, I have to pick them up and take them home.
Oh, dear. Well, no, good if they're injured, but you don't often see injured animals. Most of them are dead.
Well, yeah.
I'm afraid.
Just these people that deliberately go out and hurt them. And
no, that's horrible. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I've just recently taken in a dog that had come from a home that weren't really looked after properly, and she's great. I've got 3 cats. She's a Staffy cross called Charlie, and she's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I don't know. The problem with Staffordshires is that so many of these chavvy people have had them because they think they look tough.
And the dog fighting as well.
Yeah, and then they go off them. Losing my voice tonight. I think I put that down to the studio. Too cold. And excuse me. And they end up not wanting them after a bit because they take them on as a sort of status symbol. Yeah, and they're some of the loveliest dogs you could get.
Oh, she's beautiful. I mean,
great temperaments.
There's a friend of mine that lives at back of me, and she gets on with her dog brilliant, but she's had a couple of do's with a couple of dogs, and you won't think she was the same dog where she was with him, but one of my friends has also said that she went looking for a dog at one of RSPCAs. I don't know where it was, but the amount of staffies that had come in.
I know. They're absolute. It's appalling to see what has happened to that breed. It really is. I saw one the other day. This guy was taking it down the street with a bit of rope tied around its neck. I had to say to him, is that how you treat the dog? He can't have been more than 14, this kid. He couldn't say anything. Kids of 14, a lot of them can't talk anymore. They just grunt. Unfortunately. Listen, will you give my best wishes to your mum?
I will do.
And thank you very much indeed for getting her tuned in again.
Oh, that's no problem at all. I'm hoping that I can get my dad up here one of the days to speak to you because he's not well, so...
Oh, dear. Give him my best wishes.
When he can, but I'll definitely get him to try and phone you or something.
All right, Laura. You take it easy.
And you too. See you later.
See you later. Say bye-bye to your mum. 01243 55 60 60. Thank you very much indeed. That's nice, isn't it, Laura? That's very nice. Okay, we'll come back. Got another call coming up. Some more emails and the winner of the Scotch whiskey all revealed right after this.
Sunday night just got better on Play 2 UK.
Hello, this is Chris Tarrant. If you're hearing this now, you've missed me on Hershey's Half Hour, but don't worry, you can listen again at playradiouk.com/podcast.
Hershey's Half Hour, 30 minutes of top-flight entertainment expertly crammed into 2 hours. Sundays from 4 on Play 2 UK.
It's a show with everything, and then somehow in this way, nothing.
Are everyday items stretching your family income to the limits at the moment? Me too. Well, I found this amazing website, comparison-plus.co.uk. It's amazing. You can compare the prices of thousands of products from all the big retailers. And what's more, it's a totally free service. You don't have to become a member to use Comparison Plus. But if you do register with comparison-plus.co.uk, you get cashback rewards, giving you even bigger savings. Don't pay over the odds. Click comparison-plus.co.uk and start saving now.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play 2 UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Mouth-watering malt straight to your door. Visit playradiouk.com and set your taste buds free.
James Whale. If opinions count, this man must be a mathematical genius.
Okay, he is a mathematical genius as well. Coming up, we end the programme as usual with the Sex Pistols and God Save the Queen in a lovely way. Now, I've been through loads and loads of emails and lots of calls. I decided to give it to an email tonight. Tomorrow night might be a call. Loads of emails tonight which could have won it. Steve Wilkinson didn't win it. But he said, how about this? Great show as usual. I think I should get the bottle of whiskey because global warming's a myth, religion is dated. I didn't vote for Ken Livingstone. I too miss Ken from the Highlands. I enjoy listening to David Icke. I won't vote for my local MP in the next election. I want my bins emptied twice a week. How much more sucking up do I need to do? Steve from Shaftesbury in Dorset. You get the horn anyway. Loads more. Lots of really good emails tonight. Like the one about Isaac Hayes from Ian in St Albans, which I read out earlier, and also like very much Errol from, I don't know, Errol didn't say where he came from, about what's going on with Russia and Georgia. But I've decided to give it to Steve Bentley tonight. All right, Stevie, you are the winner of the Blackadder whiskey, and it'll be winging its way to you very soon. His email said, we hear about we hear about the councils restricting the amount of parking spaces in our towns or city centres on environmental grounds. Makes me wonder whether anybody has calculated the carbon footprint of driving around town to find somewhere to park, both in terms of your own extra mileage and the extra congestion which it causes. I like that one. To the point. Pithy.
There's your winner.
That's the winner.
We have Alan on line one.
Okay. Alan, hi.
Mr. Whale.
Oh, no. Yes,
Mr.
Alan.
Hollick, good evening.
Hello.
Bit of a sad day today.
A sad day today.
The death of Isaac Hayes.
Yeah,
I remember when he was doing South Park, he was a good man.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, I'm worried about the show next week, because you'll let the lunatics take over.
Right, yes. Okay, well, when the lunatics take over the asylum...
I'm talking about Mr. Lee and Mr. Boyd.
Oh, they'll be fine, Mr. Caddick. Don't you worry about that. Thank you for your call, please. They'll probably spend a lot more time with you than I will. 087... what am I talking about, 087? 01243 55 60 60. I don't ever understand him when you put him on all the time.
Hey.
What?
It might one day ring up with a valid point, and then you might want to give him a bottle of whiskey. Mind you, whiskey probably.
I don't think we should give him a bottle of whiskey.
We should.
No, I don't think we should. Right? Absolutely not. Okay. Right, we'll take a couple more calls, I think. And
yes,
I'm
we're just calling somebody back, actually. A guy called Viktor from Poland who called us.
He called us?
From Poland, yes, he's listening now. So we're going to call him back, and hopefully when we made a connection, we'll put him through.
Oh, what part of Poland, I wonder? Do you know what part of Poland?
Oh, I should remember. No,
but you've forgotten. Okay. Let me just remind you, while I'm off until I come back on tomorrow, if you want to email me, in the interim between now and tomorrow night, you can email me. Email me. It's a funny day.
It is, isn't it?
It's now got really cold, hasn't it? Have you noticed that?
I think it's something to do with the weather. You know, we were stood
No,
outside.
it's nothing to do with the weather.
No, I think it's all there's something weird going on this evening.
Yeah,
Just generally.
aliens outside. I think that's probably what it is.
They've heard Nick Pope. That's it.
James.Whale@playradiouk.com. Okay? James Whale Radio at playradiouk.com.
James.Whale@playradiouk.com.
That's what I said, James.Whale@playradio.
James Radio.
I said James Whale. I said James.Whale@playradiouk.com. That's what I said. Right. Okay, let's move slightly on. Who's this?
Victor.
Hello?
Victor from Poland. Hi, Victor.
Hello, James.
Hi,
Good
Vic.
to speak with you again. You asked about what to do with the criminals in the prisons. Well, I just thought of something because of Solzhenitsyn's death. Very sad event which we had this week.
That's right, yeah.
And it put me in mind of the Gulag archipelago. And I just thought, what a pity that such a lot of interesting penal institutions are not going to waste when we have all the crackheads and smokeheads and stoneheads and other knife crime people all overcrowding prisons in Britain. We could really, help with the Russians and to rent out some of these spaces.
Well, this idea comes up from time to time that people think, well, why don't we send our criminals why don't we do a deal with China or Thailand, because they have particularly extreme prison regimes over there. We could send our prisoners over there. It's not a bad idea. I mean, Russia would probably do a deal, wouldn't they? And
well, yes, we will. We could even put them into Georgia, for example.
Yeah. Where are you calling me from?
Well, at the moment from Warsaw in Poland.
But you're not Polish?
Well, no, I'm not Polish, actually. No.
No, so are you Russian?
Yeah.
Where from?
Well, from Moscow originally, from Moscow.
Yeah?
You know Moscow.
No, I've never been to Moscow.
You didn't go?
I didn't go. Did you go?
Oh, I've always been a second home for me.
What are you doing in Poland then, in Warsaw?
Well, don't laugh, but I'm doing consultancy, accountancy, things like this.
That's all right. So tell me what you think about what's happening in Georgia.
I think it's very good.
Why?
Well, because so far it's not been possible to for these people to express themselves at all. Even 2 years ago, I went onto the internet and say it's going to be a problem if there's no referendum in Georgia, when it's 90% of people want to be not in Georgia, and the Georgia are not listening. They want to join European Union, which is supposed to be about democracy, although don't make me laugh about that, because nobody's taking any notice of Irish referendum, and they don't even want to give these people the referendum.
All right, hang on. Tell me, so I understand this. Georgia, Georgians, it's a nation state on its own that used to be within the Soviet Union.
Yes.
Are you saying that the majority of people who now live in Georgia are actually Russians?
Well, the problem with the whole of the Caucasus region is that there's many different languages and nations. For example, I think it's about 100 languages spoken just in the Caucasus region. And even Ossetian, you've got North Ossetian, you've got South Ossetian, Abkhazian, actually have 2 or 3 different languages and nations in there. And basically what is happening is that the major group is actually Georgians. What they call Georgians, we call them Gruzinians, yes? So basically, but Georgian is the sort of name for it in English.
Okay.
But there are several areas. One of them is South Ossetia, another is Abkhazia, which came under Georgian protection in about the 1920s, just before it went into Soviet Union. And these people went in order, in a sense, to protect themselves a little bit from a communist revolution into Georgia. And Georgia simply think that they have right to have this territory. But people who live there, they don't really want to be Georgians. They have the chance, but 90% of them have the Russian passport. Now, if we, for example, look at the Good Friday Agreement, what finally bring peace to Northern Ireland, what was agreed between Britain and Ireland was they will have a referendum when the time comes. If majority of people want to be with the Southern Ireland, with the Republic of Ireland, we will cede the province to Southern Ireland. But nobody is making a similar attempt to have referendum in these provinces. I think if they do have it, that it will be very, very clear because, they have 90% Russians.
All right, now listen to me. You make a very good point, an excellent point, and to be fair, the president of Georgia made a very good point earlier, but the fact is that both the Georgian and the Russian armed forces have been engaged in pretty bloody fighting over the past couple of days, and the majority of people that have been hurt and killed have just been innocent civilians.
Well, that's what happens when you fight. You know that. And,
I do.
In the course of history, this fighting is extremely tiny.
But you know what?
The number of people who died in the Second World War, it's massive in comparison to this.
I agree with you. I'm playing devil's advocate for a minute. But let me tell you though that when we had the problems, and some people consider there are still problems in Northern Ireland, But Britain didn't send its tanks and didn't send its bombers into Northern Ireland, although some people were hoping.
We had the scenes that we saw on the news, which show a lot of troops in Northern Ireland for quite a long time.
Well, we did, yeah, but it was in more of a I mean, our troops were there in a more of a peacekeeping way than anything else. In fact, the troops were probably shot at more than anything else.
Who shot on Bloody Sunday and all of that, you can't really... it's a little bit idealistic to say we only were peacekeeping. Yes, we would like to keep the peace as well, but unfortunately, when Georgia went in and started shooting the fjords, then what do we know, then the Russians, what they have in mind? We had to go in at this point.
Yeah, but you see, this is the interesting thing. You are talking from a point of view where you've had a lot of your information coming to you from the Russian news wires. I've had a lot of... well, I don't know. This is the problem, isn't it? We only know because you and I both were not there on the ground. We only know what we've been told by the different...
I've been looking at it for the last 2 years, and even 2 years ago I said what my opinion is and had a lot of debate on it on my YouTube channel, and people have come and said, oh, you're just taking Putin's line. In fact, that's not the case at all, because Putin didn't even mention about referendum, which is what I've been saying all along. I said there will be trouble if they don't give referendum, and nobody is giving referendum.
Do you think that we can keep Russia and America apart over this or not?
The Americans are just talking and talking. They need us not to say anything about their intended victories, invasion of Iran. And of course we will say something about Iran if they say too much about this. And if they don't say too much about this, then probably they get an easier to go into Iran, which is what they want to do for... they want to stop this Amina Jibjab, yes? This man there.
Yeah, but then listen, the Iranians are not going to be a problem to the world. It's just... It's the bloodthirstiness of the Americans at the moment, which is making the world a dangerous place for everybody to live in.
So all the more you need a counterbalance of a strong Russia who can, at least as one country, not afraid to tell Americans to sling their hooks.
All right, I don't know who you are, but nice talking to you. It's amused me. Thank you for your call. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Do you think he was real? Do you think he was a real Russian? Talking to you also. I don't know. I'm a bit cynical now in my old age.
Really?
Well, it was an interesting Russian accent, to be honest. But anyway, right, okay, do I have time for... What?
Had a very good point.
He did have a very good point, excellent point. And if we hadn't already given the whiskey, I would have given the whiskey to him, because I thought that was a brilliant call. And he made a lot of sense.
Yes, but he's in Poland, we don't really want to send this over to Poland, do we?
Don't we? Why not?
Well,
cost you a lot of money, but I'm not paying, you're paying.
I don't even know if we'd get there with all the planes and that.
Poland's quite an easy place to get to, you know.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't, but
what
I'm saying is...
Lots of Polish people come over here.
You know the way we lose luggage on our flights and the way they're chucked about left, right and centre? I wouldn't like to bet.
Good point. No, it's a good point. It's a good point. I think that's almost it, really, isn't it? Because I think...
it is, because we've got to end on God Save the Queen as well. We've only got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I think we'll do that. I was going to play a bit more of Isaac Hayes, but...
I haven't got any more.
I know.
It's a real shame.
I know. And we'll keep some of these talking points until tomorrow. So that's almost it from me. I shall be back at 8 o'clock tonight. All right? And I'm doing Bid TV Friday from 7:30 till 10:30. Okay? I need to get my sales up, so if you could tune in. And listen, I tell you something on Bid TV. The prices, because lots of people are watching the Olympics on TV, right? So as you know, on Bid TV, everything goes, it has to go. All right? Even if it only goes for £1. The other day, a digital camera, £2.
Really? What megapixel was it?
5.
See, that's a...
£2?
Yeah, great for £2. 4 years ago, 5 megapixel was like, oh, wow. But now you've got to be looking at 9, 10 megapixel, and that's with 10 times optical zoom, not digital.
Really?
Zoom. Yeah.
Bollocks. Does it matter? I'm talking about £2. You can use it for your holiday and fling it away.
For £2, it doesn't matter. You're quite right.
My camera, the one I use, you know I do arty-farty photographs. They're all on a 2 megapixel phone camera.
Yeah.
And I blow them up to 10 by 8, have them nicely framed and flog them.
But I bet the actual quality's raw.
It looks great.
Really?
Yeah, but if you don't blow them up any more than 10 by 8, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's it. Okay, I'm out of here, and as I say, we'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight. So tell your friends, and you can read Mrs. Wales' latest blog on jameswellradio.com, where you can hear us again tonight, and through Play Radio UK and all the rest of it. Stand by for Through the Night, and before that, of course, we leave you with a very uplifting God Say... Hang on, I better click this on, hadn't I?
It's all there, it's ready to go.
Is it? Okay, right. We leave you with a very uplifting Sex Pistols and God Save the Queen.